somewhere between the end of the Clone Wars and before the rebellion really kicks off. So it's a lawless time. There's a lot of piracy. There's a lot of smuggling. The Empire isn't really as all powerful and all seeing as you expect it to be, having seen it in the movies. So it's an opportunist dream. Um, our heroes have been called to Tanab. That's a inner rim planet. So it's a fairly old planet. Tanab itself is open grasslands, a lot of ranching and agriculture. It's a very boring planet on the whole. But they've been called to Tanab by Leto the Hutt, and Leto has an offer for them. So, having approached Leto's palace, his major domo, and very boring looking human. Oh, God, humans are so boring. Lets you in, brings you before Leto, and says, "The great Leto the Hutt offers you a consignment on back to bound for Jabim. This offer is for a purchase at 80,000 credits, and the great Leto will offer you a line of credit for the balance, with a guaranteed payment of 90,000 credits on arrival. Their most magnanimous excellency will also offer bonuses if you should exceed their expectations, which I very much doubt will occur."
So this is for a net gain on our part of 10,000 credits. If all goes according to plan.
Expectations, and how would we exceed them?
So that's all laid out by the major domo. You have 2.5 weeks to make delivery, depending on how fast you leave the planet, which you can't do until you actually load the goods on. This is, smuggling. You can negotiate. You can actually negotiate the regular terms, or you can negotiate bonuses. It's up to you.
Where are we taking this delivery of back to?
So it's the planet Jabim, which you guys can actually go ahead and roll Outer Rim or Underworld. If you
This would
want
be a
to.
knowledge check.
Yes, this would be a knowledge check.
Anything that's not the green dashes or green ones going in there for us?
Okay, yes. So this is a easy. That's 1 purple. No setback and no bonus dice for you guys. So everyone at home, this system uses a bunch of dice. We have proficiency dice, which we're going to refer to probably as yellow dice. Ability dice, which we're going to refer to as green dice. And those produce the positive parts of your pool, along with bonus dice, which we might refer to as blue dice. There are also challenge dice, and can't remember what they're called right now. Oh, difficulty dice. Challenge dice are red, difficulty dice are purple, and we have setback dice as well. Those are normally called blacks. And that generates a pool, which generates results when rolled. Let's see what we got. So it turns out that, yeah. So Trico, is it Cat or Set? Set. Crunch and Lorian all actually know where Jabim is. It's on the outer rim. It's actually just a little bit further down the Perlemian trade pike, which is the astrogation route that you're on right now. The planet Tanab is on that route. And assuming no pirates or astronavigational hazards or debris.
I'm sure that's a reasonable assumption.
It's probably a little bit under 2 weeks travel time.
I'm going to give a blue to Torrico.
So you actually can only pass it to the next person unless you have 2 advantage.
The next allied.
Yep.
Got it.
So, all right. So you guys know where Jabim is now. You have some understanding of Jabim. So Jabim is a mining planet. And did anybody actually roll Underworld? Okay.
Fine with this. All my knowledge skills are the same.
Yeah. Well, it matters because it tells you what kind of information you get. So Crunch knows that Jabim is a mining planet and that Leto the Hutt actually has a mining claim on Jabim. I don't know. He's going to hire you to do some work for you. So
Move some Bacta from one of his locations to another.
seems like it on the surface.
Okay. For I don't know if 10,000 credits seems like a good enough payday, Captain, on this one. I think we could probably squeeze out a little bit more. Captain.
Just making sure you're talking to me. I mean, Rob answered the last time. Well, it's worth a try. I think we could squeeze a little more out of this. Let's say 15,000 credits on delivery, not 10.
So who wants to make the negotiation roll here?
I think you should let me do the talking here, Captain. I'm pretty good with these types.
I agree. I'm terrible at negotiation.
You're actually decent at negotiation.
I am?
Yes.
Oh, I meant, yeah, okay.
So
would His Excellency Leto the Hutt be willing to offer a completion sale of 95,000 credits?
the Major Domo looks at you. He frowns slightly. Go ahead and roll negotiation for me against
Right.
1 red and 2 purple with a blue die as well.
All right. 1 success with advantage.
The Major Domo looks a little bit annoyed by this, but he finally nods and says, very well. We'll offer 95,000 credits on delivery.
Thank His Excellency for me and his infinite wisdom.
Leto himself is sitting a little bit away, and he actually looks down at you, Tariko, and he goes, Tariko, Mibuki, Hagwa Nechu.
Do I understand what he's saying?
Do you
Besides-
speak Huttese?
I don't think I do. No.
Okay, then you don't necessarily know.
I
If
actually
any of
don't
your
know
characters
what
would have a
language
reason to
is.
speak Huttese, you would know.
Is that a language we're supposed to have written down somewhere?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a
Oh,
role-playing
okay.
decision. How about that?
Like a background idea.
I am a
I don't speak
I am a
Huttese, so more or
smuggler
less.
that is often dealing with the interpersonal connections between
Let's say you
the
do.
purchasers and the purchasees. Yeah.
Let's say that Tariko does speak Huttese because that does make sense.
Okay.
What Leto said to you was, "Don't die."
It's always the plan, sir.
Yep. All right. So you guys have a cargo. You have a delivery location. You just need to get the cargo loaded onto your ship. What are you gonna do?
How much? How physically large is this cargo? How much?
What is the cargo?
A handful of crates? Oh no, that's not important. Are we talking a handful of crates? Or are we talking large pallets? We're loading Land Rovers into our
You
thing.
did make an underworld roll, so I'm going to go ahead and say that Crunch actually knows a little bit about Bacta as well. Bacta is stored in sealed canisters, and the sealed canisters are often, when they're being transported like this in large quantities, about the size of a standard shipping crate, so 3 by 2 by 2 meters.
Okay.
And this amount is probably going to be enough to fill the hold on your ship about 2/5 of the way.
With where we're docked, are the capabilities there to have it loaded mechanically, or do we have to hire somebody to load it?
So you, having worked for Leto in the past, know that the cargo will arrive in the hands of labor droids that are
Okay.
guarded by some of Leto's, regular Hutt thugs. And the labor droids will get it on board your ship.
All right. So just meet them back at the hangar, and we should
Yep.
be good.
But you are in, hang on a second. This is Pandath, the capital of Tanab. So if you guys actually want to go shopping or find anything, you're allowed to go shopping and find anything you want to. You're free to roam around the city.
How long do we have before the
Takeoff window?
before they're going to start showing up with goods?
It'll probably be in the next couple hours that the droids show up with the labor droids show up with the goods.
All right. Well, I'll have Crunch just head over there towards the harbor, the dockyard, I guess.
It's a bay. It's a hangar bay.
Yeah, the hangar bay. There we go. And just be there because, in case they show up a little early, or so someone is there to keep this thing moving.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got. I'll head with them. Gonna get that cargo hold prepped. Make sure that the securing clamps are prepared and ready.
Okay.
My character is going to go into the ship and sort of check out the piloting systems, make sure everything's ready to go.
Okay.
There any supplies we need to replenish while we're in town here, Captain?
We got enough food and provisions and fuel for the ship for the 2-week run?
For a month, I believe.
Oh, well then sounds like we're ready to go.
Okay. Any specialized equipment?
You up to anything?
Can't hear you, Ren.
All the computers on the ship? Okay.
No.
This is the Hutt computers.
I was about to say, that's a bold move.
Has anyone ever made a delivery to this client before? Did they know if have you ever had any trouble with this guy? Or have you ever... Chill trouble, unusual trouble.
Who are you asking?
The crew.
Oh, you guys have worked for Leto before. All of you.
Oh, okay. Well, what about the guy we're making the delivery to? Not just Leto.
You've probably never met this guy. He's one of Leto's functionaries. He runs the mining operation that Leto has on Jabim.
Okay.
Was transporting from A to B.
Yep.
Well,
all right.
Nice and straightforward.
So as you guys
What could possibly go wrong?
You guys wander back to the ship. Go ahead and make a vigilance check for me against 1 red, 1 purple.
Okay.
Vigilance.
Yeah. Should be the last of the active skills.
Okay.
1 red, 1 purple.
All right.
1 green.
I believe that's 1 success and 1 advantage.
2
Yep.
successes, 2 what is it called? Not despairs. The other not as bad one.
Dark side.
No.
Rin, you didn't
Threat?
actually roll your vigilance. You just rolled the opposition check. Whatever your vigilance is, hold on a second.
On the first page under general skills.
Yep. So roll 2 green.
Against 1 red and 1 purple, you said, right?
Yeah, but he already, well, okay, he deleted it. No, he has it still. No, he deleted it. Yeah, against 1 red, 1 purple. So 2 green against 1 red. Yep.
Hey.
Okay. So Rin, Lorian, and Tariko all notice that as you walk back towards the ship, there are some people taking really, really close interest into the activities of your crew. Like really close, suspiciously close.
Can we tell anything about who they are?
Not as you're walking away.
Physically close or just giving us close attention?
Close attention. Do you have your data pad with you? Yep. So you got a data pad with you.
So, and because I got 2 advantages this time, I can give anyone a blue die, right?
Yes.
I have to give it to someone.
So, Crunch, being this vigilant has strained you a little bit. So go ahead and take 1 strain. Crunch.
Oh. Okay. Why am I doing, or how am I doing that? Actually, here we go. Strain.
yep.
1.
Why does he have to take a strain? I don't get it.
Because he generated 1 threat with his roll, and that's one of the things I can do with 1 threat.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought those 2 symbols canceled each other out.
No, you failed.
It was a failure and a threat.
Yeah, it's failure and a threat.
Gotcha. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah. So
Stupid symbols.
failure is failure. You failed. You didn't notice anything. That's fine. Normally. But you also generated a threat, which means that you stressed yourself out looking around. In this case.
I didn't know Wookiees were so fragile.
Yeah, they can be.
He's a sensitive guy, all right? He's very sensitive.
The most sensitive.
So, Ring, can you hear anything with the data pad?
All right. So you've got your data pad out, and you've noticed these guys that are paying close attention to you and the crew. Go ahead and roll a computers against 1 red and 2 purple for me. Should be on your second page.
And a
Was
blue.
that just to Rin, or was that to all of us?
Just
No,
for-
just for Rin, because he's the
Oh,
only one who has
okay.
a data pad out. 1 red, 2
Yes.
purple. But you get a blue die because you've been passed a blue die by one of your allies.
God damn.
So you have complete and total access to the information on his comlink and on his data pad. Not very long at all. You are
8 successes.
showing your expertise here.
Of course, you're just being a good Samaritan.
So So this guy appears to be one of the Norlek freebooters. You actually go ahead and make an underworld roll. Should be knowledge. Yeah, it's under your knowledge checks.
Mm.
No, so that means you get to remove a black die. So there's actually no setback here because you're local, and you're rolling against. Let's say you're rolling against 2 purple. So you know the Norlak Freebooters are a local pirate organization. They're a well-armed, well-equipped pirate organization that is not afraid of making moves openly on the planet, in space around the planet. They're not really opposed by anything. Tanab doesn't have a space defense force, and the Republic never really spent a whole lot of time worrying about it. And the Empire doesn't have a garrison here right now. Oh yeah, you can blow his comm lines and you can blow his data pad if you want to. You rolled well enough. Okay. Yeah. So the rest of you notice that there's a sparking sound and there's a guy who drops his data pad and starts screaming as he pulls his comm link away from his collar and throws it on the ground as well, and he runs away.
Yeah, but can you make it not explode? That scent is terrible. Mm.
Slick work.
So as you walk through Pandeth, you notice that the city itself is, it's slung low. There's not a lot of elevation. There's not a lot of high buildings. There's a lot of droids. And one of the things you would know about this planet is that droids are used to be ranch hands and cowboys, so that the humans who are the primary residents of the planet don't have to do a whole lot of the ranching by hand anymore. You see nerfs and banthas and stagas and robas. They're all large or herd animals that are bred for meat, and they actually wander through the city as well. So
what
you
you're
arrive
saying-
at base 17. Sitting in base 17 is your ship, the Rough Patch. It's a YG 4400. It's a small, not quite a courier vessel, somewhere between a courier vessel and an actual, real light freighter. Nearby, the labor droids have arrived. There's a couple of Nikto thugs hanging out with blasters, but they don't really seem concerned with you at all. They're just keeping an eye on the entrance to the bay. The labor droids have these large, standard shipping crate size fluid containers full of Bacta, probably. I mean, that's what you were told you were shipping. And they bring them up onto the ship and secure them against the clamps that Set had gone ahead and set up, knowing that you have a liquid cargo coming aboard. They're all locked in pretty quickly. The labor droids are fairly efficient, if stupid. And thanks to Rin, you guys are actually getting out of here without any real attention from the freebooters.
Excellent work.
If you guys want to leave the planet now, you can. If you want to go back out and shop, you can. It's up to you.
Is there anything to stay on the planet for?
Do you like steak?
Not that much.
Yes. Yes, I do. I want to get some steaks for the galley.
Okay, yeah. Grab some steaks for the galley.
Yeah, and I'll tag along.
Yeah.
All right.
Crunch has got a nose for good steak.
There is a lot of places to buy steak in Pandath. Basically, every large ranch and every ranch patron has their own like outlet place to buy meat from. They're all relatively close in price. It's just the quality of the meat's going to vary depending on the butcher. So you can
Follow his
basically go
nose.
anywhere.
I'm going to follow his nose and buy a dozen steaks for the road.
Okay.
I'm gonna point out the freshest steaks that I can find.
A dozen is not a evenly divisible number by 5.
Well, Captain, you said you don't really like steak that much, and you're not there.
You do have a Wookiee.
Yeah, 5 are for him.
It is a question. Who's got the better nose, the Wookiee or the Shistavanen?
Shistavanen, probably, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're both pretty good hunters.
It's like 4 of the steaks are for the Wookiee, the other 8 are for us to split. It's a.
Excuse me?
Okay. Do you want to try and get a better price than the market price on these?
No.
Okay.
There's good quality here. The quality
Yeah.
is what it is. I appreciate that.
They're each 6 credits, which I think brings you guys to 72 credits for the lot.
Easy, I'll pay for that. That's fine.
Okay. If you're all set to go, because you've gone through your checklist, your pre-launch checklist, and you secured everything, and you
We
have
don't have
your
to
cargo
roll for
aboard.
that, do we?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do have to roll to take off, though.
Okay.
So- With everyone back on the ship, to roll to take off, you got to roll piloting against 1 purple.
Piloting.
You know what? I'm going to make this harder on you guys. I'm going to say the freebooters are pretty unhappy about what just happened. So you actually got to
Okay.
roll against 1 red.
Ooh.
I assume we want to. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they know.
They didn't figure out it was you, but they were definitely tracking your cargo.
You did still roll 2 threats.
Okay, so the fact that I have that black square after the 4 diamonds on my thing, that means I get to take away 1 threat, right?
No, it means you get to remove a setback die.
Oh, okay.
So there's no setback die in play right now, I don't believe.
So
There is actually,
Oh.
because the ship has a -1 handling, so there's a setback die in play.
Oh.
But your piloting skill eliminates that, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. So you said roll against. I'm sorry. How many reds and purples?
So you're rolling against 1 red.
Okay. Success and 3 advantages, and I think is that a threat?
That is a despair.
Despair.
So-
That's it.
You successfully take off. You're on a good approach to the high orbit. Everything's going fine, and your sublight engines suddenly develop a flutter.
Uh
Repair.
All right. Fortunately, you have an excellent mechanic aboard, and he's on it fast.
oh. Okay.
Go ahead and give me a Give me a mechanics check against 1 red and 1 purple.
Ta-da.
You quickly diagnose what's producing the flutter. It looks like somebody placed a harmonic disruptor on your engine systems when you weren't looking.
What does a harmonic disruptor do?
It messes up your engine, so you can't use your full power.
So how do we remove it? Do I have to go physically down there and remove it?
Yeah, you got to enter the crawlways to remove that one, my friend.
Okay.
So removing that is actually a difficult mechanics check. That's 3 purple. Have you told the rest of the crew set?
As I was leaving, yes. Hey, I'm gonna go fix it. I'm gonna go remove the device.
There's a problem with the engine. The warning light's on.
Just a warning light.
Yes. Nothing to worry about. It's not a problem until the auto destruct is engaged. Yes.
Yeah, change fuel soon. Got it. All right. Set, you've seen this before, actually. This particular model, in fact, you saw it during the Clone Wars. It was a Confederate standard model.
Confederate.
Nevertheless, you remove it easily. There's no problems. The engine's back to normal, and you guys have full power again,
Pry it off of my vibro knife.
which doesn't really help all that much. The device? It might still work.
Actually, my combat utility vibroblade is a mechanic toolkit.
What were you planning to do with it?
That's right, it is. You carry a toolkit around with you at all times.
Yes. And stab people with it.
So just as Set has announced that he's taking care of the problem, you get a comm signal. And a voice comes over. Heave to and prepare to be boarded. Your cargo is hereby claimed by the Norelec freebooters. Any attempt to flee will be met with blaster fire.
I think I'm going to commence evasive maneuvers.
I'm gonna get on comms and say, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number. We're also with the Norelec freebooters. Hi, how are you?
You go ahead and roll charm against 3 purple for me.
Yeah.
Rin, you're trying to jam? Okay.
We're
I
with
am
the
spinning up the
freebooters.
gun,
I
sir.
mean, why would we jam them?
Okay, so you're scanning the enemy. So that's a computer's roll against 3 purple.
Jesus, Tarico.
I've achieved 3 successes with advantage. Actually, 2 levels of advantage because I always get 1 on charm.
Wow.
Crunch, you can go ahead and actually make a perception check since you're sitting in a turret right now and try and see what's out there.
Against what?
I believe it's 2. Hang on a second. Yeah.
I see the darkness.
And Ren, don't forget you can pass a
sorry.
blue die to someone.
It's 3 purple, so you don't have to make that roll if you don't want to.
Say again?
It's 3 purple difficulty to spot them.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Tarico, as you flim flam these guys,
That's not good.
a response comes back. Hold 1 moment. What's your challenge code?
Challenge code. Who are you to challenge me?
Rin, it looks like they have 2
Okay.
starfighters behind you. Based on your scans, you're pretty sure they're Corellian engineering, the same kind that are used for the Corsair Defense Forces. So they're light fighters. So Tarico, he comes back and goes, sorry, sir. I still need your verification codes.
Excuse me. What did I just say? Who are you to challenge me? I need you to get out of our way. We have careful cargo to take care of here.
So, Lorian, you can actually do that.
Okay. What do I have to roll to do that?
You are, let's see. It's not fire weapon. There's another one. Hang on.
Gunnery?
Is it gunnery, ranged?
There's target lock, which is astromechs, though.
Yeah. There's fire discipline. Since you're not actually firing, he's asked you to make a lock on it. You're doing fire discipline, which is either leadership or discipline against 3 purple.
Do I get to pick which?
Yes, you do.
Oh. Leadership. Oh, well, they're the same either way. So let's see. Leadership against 3 purple.
Tariko, he comes back again and goes,
Oh, yeah, that didn't work. Okay.
"Sir, with all due respect, you know the rules. You have to give me your challenge codes, or I have to assume that you're not who you say you are."
Hey, Paleskin, why don't you just take the codes from them?
Hang on. Just a second while I talk to my navigator.
Ren,
Stalling time. Go.
take,
All right.
take.
Rin, go ahead and give me a computer's roll against 3 purple.
Sorry about that.
All right. So now that you're entering combat, you guys have to roll initiative. Because you're aware of the enemy and you're ready to fight, you get to roll cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
So roll initiative. Just hit roll initiative.
How
No.
do we?
You take your cool pool. It's a skill, cool,
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
and roll it without any opposing dice.
Okay.
Huh.
That's how you roll initiative, yeah. All right.
Damn.
So
Toriko is so cool, guys.
you guys
Okay.
have the first slot. And it looks like, yeah, you guys are going to lose those tie breaks. All right. So give me a second here. So I can write this all down. You guys have the first slot, which is a 4. And then it is, see at 1.3, NPC at 1.2. Oh.
Well, while he's doing math, I'm already in the turret. I can start shooting at people unless we want to
It's
have a
true.
better plan.
You guys do have the first turn. PC turn is first.
All right.
They are indeed jammed, which means it's going to be very difficult for them to fire on you guys.
Excellent. Good work, Rin.
Saying to the comms, son, so
Let's see.
sorry.
So you
Fire.
actually increased their difficulty by 1 on everything with the jamming, just to give you a quantifiable number. And
okay. For them.
for them.
For them.
Yep. And okay, so Crunch, you were going to fire at them.
Yeah, unless there's any problems with that, I'll go ahead and shoot at them.
That's true.
Get him, Crunch.
So Crunch, you're rolling gunnery. Let's see. And you guys are moving speed 2, and they're probably moving speed 4. So they are 1 smaller than you, I believe. Yep. So you are rolling against 2 purple.
Boom. Oh. I already used that, I thought.
Yeah. The only person, actually, no, Bryn, you generated another blue on that roll.
Yeah.
So Mac, you do have a blue.
Nope. Just roll the blue by itself now.
Just roll the blue by itself.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. So Crunch's first shot goes wide, but they're clearly aware that you guys are fighting back at this point.
Okay.
So the first fighter actually lines you up and tries to take a shot now.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Let's see how this goes. He hits, but he can't do anything more than hit you. So that is, and I'm going to go ahead and track your ship health here, just to make it easier on everybody. But if we play again, I'll explain how to do this, and you guys will get to do that. So let's see.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So for everybody at home, the LAF 250 starfighters these guys are using have forward-mounted light laser cannons that are linked. Unfortunately, they generated no advantage, so they couldn't use linked fire. So they only hit with one of the laser cannons. Those laser cannons do 5 damage, and 5 damage is enough to get past the armor that the rough patch has, which is 3. So it does 2 damage to the hull. The hull has 21 total hull points. So it's currently at 19 out of 21.
This is our ship.
Mhm.
Damn it. I was actually thinking it might be better to run away.
Yes.
Right. Running away is an option now that you're in space. You can run.
Yeah.
You will actually need to plot a course, an astrogation course,
Okay.
and that becomes very hard to do when you're in combat.
Okay.
And also, Lorian, you do have the option to use your aft-mounted concussion missiles if you really want to take care of business.
I think my time might be better spent plotting a course to get away.
That's fair.
Okay.
It is a PC turn.
Can one of us fire those missiles?
If you are sitting in the co-pilot seat, I believe you are right now, actually. Yes, you can. That is a gunnery roll.
Okay.
Perfect.
Not
Mariko, fire the missiles while I plot a course to get us out of here.
firing the missiles.
And you are firing against... They have... Okay, so you're firing against 2 purple and 1 black.
Okay. All right, let's see how it goes. Oh, a failure with 3 advantage.
So you missed. But...
A lot of advantage.
Can I use that advantage to, like,
Can you
Make
pass
him
that
have,
to
like-
me so I can plot a course to get out of here?
had to take some ridiculous evasive maneuvers and throw himself off course?
Yeah. Yes, you can actually use that to generate a disadvantage for the guys, for the enemies, if you want to do that. You can use that to pass blue dice on to your allies, or you can use it to explode the concussion missiles and
Do some splash damage, maybe?
do some splash damage.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go with the splash damage. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's
Go with that.
just get right in between them.
All right. So for the audience at home, the splash damage on these concussion missiles is 4 because it's a blast 4 weapon. And these starfighters are light starfighters, so they only have 2 armor, which means that each of those starfighters took 2 damage.
Great work, Tariko.
I want to get on the comms and go, and I believe you received my challenge code. And
And I should point out to everybody that starfighters are really flimsy. So a couple more hits like that, and they will not be able to pursue.
What happens if we kill them? Are there like space police that are watching?
Well, normally, yes, but you guys know, or at least some of you know, Crunch and Rin, that the freebooters basically have free reign in this system. There aren't any Imperial patrols. There aren't any leftover to Nob security forces. It's just you in space.
do we know, are there freebooters that usually this bold to go after Hutt cargo?
Do they know they're going after Hutt cargo?
They should.
Hmm.
They've been watching the back to.
Yeah.
Rin rolled well enough to know that yes, they are usually this bold. They're not that worried. But the rest of you, you're kind of confused because you thought that there was some sort of deal between the freebooters and the Hutts.
Hmm.
Can I also say into the comm, you sure you want to come after Leto the Hutt's cargo?
Okay. That is a coercion check.
All right.
You are not very good at coercion,
I am not very good at coercion.
but give it a roll. That is a difficult coercion check, so 3 purple.
No. Well, 2 successes, but 3 threats.
That means you succeeded.
You succeeded. The 2 starfighters are beginning to break off. Apparently, you've gave them a little bit to think about.
Between the concussion missile and the verbal threat.
Yeah. So, Lorian, you actually don't have any distractions to deal with now. You can
Okay.
go ahead and make your astrogation roll.
So,
It is against 1 purple right now.
and then I've got on the sheet here one of the black squares and an advantage thing next to the proficiency markers. What is that?
If you had been trying to astrogate in combat, you would have had a setback die, and that would have removed it.
Gotcha.
I
So you
believe
said 2 purple? Or 1
Yes.
purple?
1 purple, sorry.
Oh, okay.
And you add an automatic advantage. So you scored 3 advantage. You didn't fail, which means you technically succeeded. The best kind of
Okay.
success.
Hey, anything that succeeds is fine by me.
But you're not gaining any time. We're going to go ahead and use your advantage to make sure you don't actually hit anything on the way.
Probably smart.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that plan.
Are we still
so
in
this is
Are we still in initiative order?
no. You're now out of initiative since the
Can I-
starfighters have broken off.
Can I huff and go repair the ship?
Well, I mean the ship's fine-ish. You'd have to
It's-
get outside and actually do repairs to the hull.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Then how can I do damage control in combat?
Damage control is like turning off stuff that's been affected. You can try and do damage control if you want to.
Oh, no, it's
You have circuits that blow out, or because they're
it just says that
overloaded.
you can repair hull trauma per success.
Oh, then yeah, give that a try.
It's just, but you can only do it once per combat.
I mean, yeah, you can technically do it once because combat is ending now. So on that note, as you end combat, you can roll cool or discipline to recover your strain. So really, the only person who needs to roll is crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is less than half of the threshold, or what's the threshold? That's
Yeah. How do I roll against strain?
You roll cool or discipline against nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
I think you recovered your
Oh, I'm
strength.
actually way better with discipline because
No,
I'm a
this-
Wookiee.
This is
Yeah,
for
yeah.
repair.
So you said roll against nothing?
Yeah, Mac, you're rolling against nothing. Set, yeah, you roll. You're okay. Yeah, you've recovered all of the hull trauma. So even though you guys took a nasty hit, Set was on top of it, and the ship it seems to be completely fine.
Superficial damage, right, Set?
Avoidable damage.
So Mac, you've recovered 1 strain.
That is conveniently the actual amount of strain I have. So
Correct. Yeah, you guys actually didn't do a whole lot of strain to yourselves. So you're in hyperspace. Hyperspace is boring. God, so boring. It's full of humans. I'm kidding.
ew.
So
You got about 2 weeks in hyperspace. You guys have lived on board this ship for a while now, so you're all familiar with the kind of space you need. This is a fairly small vessel, but it's not, cramped. So you can hang out, you can chat with each other, you can play some Zajaric.
Is it about the size of the ghost, or is it smaller?
I'd say yeah, it's about the size of the Ghost.
Okay. Yeah,
Everybody has their own room.
Yeah.
There's common space. There is a engineering section. That's probably where Headset hangs out a lot of the time. Yeah, Rena's the kind of guy who has all those weird HoloNets video collections.
The rest of us just sort of avoid his quarters.
He's super into this show called Parasite. So yeah, hyperspace is boring. There's not a whole lot going on. If you guys are comfortable moving ahead, we can move ahead.
Let's do it.
All right.
the steaks get cooked throughout the trip.
Yeah. You guys
Slowly.
eat really well because you have great steaks.
Nerf steak. Mwah.
So you come out of hyperspace a couple times to correct course and head towards Jabim proper. The final time you come out of hyperspace over Jabim, Jabim is a huge green-blue ball. From space, doesn't look very attractive. And those of you who know anything about the planet know that on the ground it's not very attractive either. However, it is full of fairly rich ore deposits.
As long as we get a 15,000 credit payout, the planet looks pretty attractive to me.
What do they mine on Jabim?
Ores that are used to create durasteel is the primary export.
Okay.
So you're directed towards Shoal Spaceport. Shoal is really the only city of any note on Jabim.
Makes sense.
But there are several large settlements that you do notice as you come in. Spaceport Control sets you down in Bay 36, which is a light freighter solo bay. So there's only your ship there. You need to contact the receiver and let them know where the ship is so they can unload their cargo. As you step out of the bay to look around, you notice that Shoal is a pretty low-slung city. There aren't a lot of structures that are more than 2 or 3 stories high.
Is our receiver in Shoal?
Yes, your receiver is in Shoal.
Just checking.
So that is a space.
Subspace drive, yeah.
They have 4 kinds of space Wi-Fi. No, I'm kidding. It's
got
1
8G.
red, 2 purple against your computers, Rin. So for the rest of you, while he's taking care of that, you do notice that Shoal enjoys Jabim's wonderful, noteworthy weather, which is that it is raining basically all the time.
Lovely.
The air is pregnant with moisture, and if it's not raining, it's going to rain again very soon.
So, well, you know, there's a drought around here is when the puddles dry up, I take it.
I think I probably would have contacted the receiver when we were still coming in, like before we landed.
Okay.
To try and cut the time down, the wait time down.
Yeah. So when you call into your contact, it just directs you to his voicemail.
Space voicemail.
Space voicemail.
Yes.
Rin, as you are poking around in the systems, you trip something and are forced out.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. The alien face still just.
So your contact is supposedly a human by the name of Chet Brown. Chet Brown.
Ew, humans.
Boring.
Humans gross, boring.
Ass human.
Unfortunately, there are too many of them to avoid entirely. As long as they pay me to deliver their cargo, I suppose I can live with them.
So, having tried to contact Mr. Brown, you discover that Mr. Brown's voicemail is full and he's apparently busy. You got some options here. You guys have skills. You can track him down.
Okay. Considering you just got thrown out.
So you said options.
So skills that you can use here are streetwise, knowledge outer rim. You can use charm to try and get the information out of locals. You can use perception to try and figure out where he'd be hanging out. Normally, Rin would be able to use computers, but he did just get kicked out of the local system.
We'll figure it out.
I think I could probably head out into the street and figure out where he is.
All right.
Go along. Make sure you take someone with you.
Yeah, I'll tag along. The
Okay.
IP address for the
Good
rough
idea.
patch.
So let's see how that goes. I'm actually curious here.
Uh,
Ah, interesting. So
Doesn't look
Tariko and Crunch are out on the town. They're hitting up bars. They're hitting up informants. They're trying to find Chet Brown, boring human.
boring human. Chet Brown.
Tariko, if you want to go ahead and give me a charm check against
Yeah.
1 red, 2 purple.
Try and sweet talk some bartenders, you know.
Yeah.
1 red, 2 purple. Okay, I can. No, we have no setbacks, so I can't remove any of those. All right.
Can I do anything to like stand behind him, like flex knowingly? Like, is that a thing that I can do to help to boost his dice roll?
If he was trying coercion, yes.
Okay.
But because he is trying to be charming, no.
Trying to play nice.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so I start combing all my Wookiee hair.
If this doesn't work, then we can talk about the possible removal of
Body
arms
parts.
from sockets.
Right, yes.
They're there, Crunch. They're there.
Wookiee-based
Oh
maiming.
no.
So,
Oh no.
Tariko, you're hitting up against a lot of walls here. Whatever Chet Brown is into, nobody else wants to be involved with, it seems.
So-
Rin, while you're messing around in the computer systems, you actually notice there's a ping against your system. And this ping is loud. Like, you can't tell, but you think
Hold on.
someone may have purposely tripped against your systems? I mean, that's what it looks like to you.
Oh,
Like
that's
somebody
no
wanted you to
bueno.
know that they were there. You have a very clear trace back to somebody's identifiers.
What do I pull up?
You got to make a computers roll against 1 red, 2 purple. You do get a bonus die.
A blue die?
Yes, 1 blue die.
Okay. Boom.
So when you reach back, you discover that this belongs to a local slicer. They seem to have some kind of reputation. You can't tell if it's good or bad based on what you found.
Script
Searching
kitty?
local forums.
Can't tell if it's script kitty. Okay. Interesting.
It doesn't make you comfortable because no one should have been able to get through the firewalls that you set up.
Well, there's 2 ways I can do this. I can cut the link, or I can... I'm going to quickly set up a fake... I'm going to do like a copy-paste of like the entire computer and fake it so that there's a fake honeypot that they can go into that looks like us, but actually
Okay.
wall off our computer. Can I do that?
Yeah, we can give that a
I'm
roll.
gonna
Hold on a second.
firewall the daylights out of it. I'm just
Fiery
using
as the
words.
walls.
I'm just using words that sound right.
Hey, it's Star Wars. It could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Metachlorians is a valid answer.
Yeah.
Let's
Absolutely.
Away from the death sticks.
Yeah.
let's see how this goes.
And I'm going to put a cigar in my mouth while I'm doing it.
I'm surprised at that roll.
I love it.
So, whatever you did, Rin,
Crap.
looking at the traffic coming into the ship now, you're pretty confident that you shut them off. They don't have any access to any of your internal systems, and whatever data they've scraped is probably just unimportant stuff.
Yeah, but I'm going to let them keep scraping
Okay.
and see what it can tell me.
So I guess we'll head back after I get just
Stonewalled.
despair. You know, I get nowhere. Like, so I'm in Zeltron, so I have like bright red skin, and when I get like angry or upset, I like darken. So I'm like maroon when I come back because I'm just so
Tussling your
embarrassed.
hair.
Yes. Just,
Rough day, Rico. Have you found anything out about our contact?
apparently nobody wants anything to do with him, and nobody knows where he
That's
is.
a little disturbing.
Boring humans. Nobody wants them.
Yeah, like
Eh.
you think him being Leto the Hutt's proxy here would make him known or whatever, but nothing anywhere. No one wants to talk, even with alcohol involved.
Wow.
Is there any
Yeah.
weapon systems or anything else in the Bay 36?
There's no weapons systems per se. There are security features that are designed to keep, passerby out,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not going to resist an armed assault or anything.
Okay. I'll let everybody know that someone tried to ping the ship hard, and I believe I was able to fake them out with a fake version of us with nothing important on it.
So
Do
you
you
can
have an
just
idea if it might be? Were you able to trace them back so we can maybe figure out who they are? Maybe they have something to do with our contact.
I can try.
if you want to make a run against a system that just tried to break into yours, you can give that a whirl.
To break into mine?
That's what they just tried to do.
Make a run at my system to break into it, or make a run into their system?
No, their
to break-
system.
No, yeah, you'd make a run into their system.
Sure. What am I doing?
You're rolling against 1 red and 3 purple. I highly recommend you upgrade your roll here.
How do I do that?
So you would turn over a light side point,
That's
and
a
that would
light
allow
side.
you to turn
Is that the white dice?
the,
Yeah.
the, the
At
white.
the top.
yes,
No,
top.
no, not the white dice. The white symbols at the top.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you go.
Okay.
So that allows you to change one of your green dice into a yellow die, which gives you an opportunity to triumph, which is what you really want. It's actually a slightly better probability to
Yeah.
score successes too.
I like better probabilities. That's what this is all about.
So
It's just math, baby.
I think
just
your
math.
dice, yeah, your dice pool now
Kids,
is 2 yellow.
stay in school. Learn your
That's right.
math. Otherwise, you wind up a slicer like me,
I mean, that might be true.
making up stuff to figure out how to hack imaginary computers. So, what do we got here?
So you're rolling 2 yellow, 2 green against
1 red, 3 purple,
1 red, 3 purple.
and a partridge in a pear tree. Here we go. Oh,
All right. Rin, you're in.
I'm in.
You are so in. You're
Oh,
inside
I'm
this
in.
guy's systems.
Oh, it's like
You know
that.
who he
it's
is,
like
but
that-
more importantly, you know where he is.
like a
Where
is
found
he?
the-
He's
We'll rip
hanging
his
out
arms off.
in yeah, right. Yes, send the
Plus,
Wookiee
we
to
have
rip
to
his
get
arms
there.
off.
Yeah.
After
He's hanging out in a cantina that's about a kilometer away, just on the other side of town.
Do I got a name?
Down.
Was that
by
Imperial
the
Space
river.
Units?
Do I got a name?
You do have a name. It's just a screen name. It's Flashjack.
Flash Jack.
at AOL.com.
It's the
Hotmail.net.
kind of handle that a boring human would use.
So, what's it going to take to have him declared legally dead?
So do you have a
while I'm here?
location? Perhaps we can pay him a visit.
What's the name of the
See
cantina?
why he found it profitable.
So the cantina's name appears to be the Wet Dog.
I'm offended.
It's okay, Crunch.
Why? He's not even a dog. I'm
Well,
offended.
Why is... Excuse me. Wait a minute. They have dogs here?
Yeah,
Man, the eating is going to be good today.
Oh, jeez.
it's a little bit weird, but sure.
Hey, it's a delicacy where I'm from. Let's do this. Should I stay here, or do you guys want to go there and just work off Comlink? Or do you
If,
want me to go with you?
Uh,
Do I see any cross-referencing to Flashjack and Chet Brown?
That smile is so creepy, man.
I know.
You, as you're looking through the forums, now that you have a handle to work with, you do see that Flashjack has taken on work for a guy who is probably Chet Brown's handle. There's some sort of connection between them.
Interesting.
Have
is
you
it
told?
important for us to leave someone with the ship?
Yeah, it usually is because the ship
Okay.
does have things that are valuable, like the
Okay.
ship itself.
So you're gonna leave the weak little old me here? Sounds like a dream come true. I'm locking the ship while you're gone.
Okay, that's actually probably a good plan, Rin.
Yeah.
Should we
So-
leave a little muscle with him in case somebody tries to physically board? Maybe
Nah.
Crunch. Maybe Crunch should stay behind with you just to be sure of the physical security aspect.
No, I think Crunch should definitely go with you if you're going into town.
The worst case scenario is that Rin is forced to take the ship up.
I can fly. Not really awesome, but I can do it.
Yeah.
Eh, as long as you can get far enough out of dock to make sure that anyone can't board that we don't want them to board, that's good enough.
Or I can take
So-
it, turn it around, shoot some bad guys, then land on top of the
Try
bodies.
to minimize the damage. The fewer corpses we have to explain,
Hey,
the
look,
better.
the jamming on this ship is so good. If anybody really gets around it, I can turn them into microwave popcorn. It's okay. Let's just go. Go, you guys go. I got
Okay,
this. I'll seal
alright,
up behind
alright.
us.
Crunch, Rico, Set, Lorian, you're all walking through the roads and the alleys of the city. You take a turn into a narrow alley and find yourself cut off by shadowy figures. One of them steps out in front. He looks like a boring human. He says, "Unlock the ship for us. We'll take the back off your hands. Nice and easy." Suddenly, blasters appear, and they're all pointed towards you. The alley is fairly broad enough that you guys can move around each other. There's some refuse, some empty shipping containers, enough detritus that you can actually take cover if you want to.
How many shadowy figures are there? Can we count them?
Good question.
You can see 3 in the direction that you're facing right now. There are an additional 3 behind you, cutting off your escape.
Oh,
So-
wow. All right.
So we've got them outnumbered.
Let's roll initiative.
It's a target-rich environment.
Right. It is a target-rich environment. You guys should have no trouble taking down some thugs. You're professionals, after all.
So are we still rolling cool for this one?
For vigilance.
You are rolling vigilance because you were surprised.
Oh, we
I'm
have to
actually
roll
better at
vigilance.
that, so-
Okay. All right. We have to roll vigilance.
You have to roll vigilance.
Okay.
Yes. Unless you have a talent that lets you roll cool all the time.
I don't think so. But it wouldn't surprise me for this
Nice roll,
particular
Seth.
character.
Damn.
Because I don't want to roll 6 different characters, I'm actually just rolling once, and that's the order and initiative they're all going to use, which is
You
actually
cheated.
after all of you.
Woohoo!
It is my prerogative to cheat. I am the game master.
Long held tradition.
So,
The force for lazy GMs.
Set, you can actually use that triumph to allow somebody to take a maneuver before we even start combat.
Like as in, I can go ahead and turn on my sense now before combat.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can.
That sounds really good.
Okay. So Max slot, Set slot, Lorian slot, and Rico slot. And then we're into NPC slots.
Is there in this system, is there a detriment to shooting into melee combat?
Yes, if someone is engaged in melee combat with them. So if you have 2 people that are engaged in melee combat, shooting into melee combat raises or upgrades to difficulty once. So you're involving a red die,
Gotcha.
which means you have an opportunity for despair.
So
Shooting
maybe
an
Set
ally.
goes at the bottom of the order because the rest, all 3 of us are shooting, right? Is that? I don't know what Lorian does, but
Yeah, that's a plan. I don't know if that's Set's plan.
You see Set with a vibro blade in his hand. There's
Yeah.
there's no gun. What's a gun? God, you've never seen him use a gun. You're not even sure he can use a gun.
He's got a wicked vibroblade though.
throw it.
So PC's going first. Who's going first?
I thought Seth goes first.
No. He did the pre-initiative thing where he allows him to turn his vibroblade on.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah,
That's 100% what he did.
totally what it did. Well, is it then by the Max first?
No,
Kratos first?
all we have a pool where all of us get to choose who goes first on that one.
Is that how that works? Oh, okay.
AKA, you shoot, and then we rush in.
Yeah, like fellas, you know this is Leto the Hutt stuff. You don't want any part of this.
Okay.
Toriko shot first.
Just Toriko
Toriko shot first.
No hesitation.
Toriko, go ahead and give me. You're using your light blaster,
Yes, my
Pulling it out.
very nice blaster.
shooting it. So you're gonna take 2 strain here, because you're doing 2 maneuvers. Actually, no, you're only doing 1 maneuver. Nope. So you're not taking any strain. Never mind.
Okay.
So you're using 1 maneuver to pull your weapon out.
Yep.
And then you're using your action to shoot.
To fire.
Yeah.
Right.
So go ahead and
to whichever one was speaking.
Okay. Yeah. If you're gonna shoot the guy who was speaking, that's fine.
Yeah.
Give me a ranged light. I believe your pool is 1 yellow, 2 green
That's correct.
against 2 actually, yeah, 2 purple.
Okay. Two successes.
So go ahead and add your successes to the base damage of your weapon and tell me what that is.
All right, 2 successes. My base damage is 8.
On your blaster?
Yes, you gave me that very nice superior quality blaster.
So I did. Wow, I am generous.
I assume my background suggested I used to be wealthy and rich and powerful at one point and have fallen.
You acquired that blaster probably through Funblam. Anyway,
It's
So-
the equalizer.
Flop.
so
Oh.
Tarico's grinning, and all of a sudden, there's a blaster in Tarico's hand, and the
Ooh.
guy across from him has this smoldering blaster bolt marking on the front of his chest, and he is hurt. Oh man, he's hurting. He's not quite down and out, but he is in a lot of pain right now.
And now y'all should leave.
Unfortunately,
Or the Wookiee rips
they
your
don't
arms
look
off.
like they're ready to go. They don't look like
What?
they're ready to go.
One shot and they're not ready to run away? This is totally Jip.
Yep.
Well, one of you's next. Who wants to
Oh,
rip an
excuse
arm
me.
or fire?
I
Yeah,
did
sorry,
my
I was
math
waiting
wrong.
for-
You killed that guy.
Oh,
Oh, he's not dead. Oh, he's still hurting. Oh,
10
Yeah.
points of
he's
damage to the
dead.
chest.
Rico
Yeah.
shot first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rico
So
shot
so
first.
Tarico shot first, and he took a guy down.
One
Yes.
shot, one kill.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'll go. I pull my blaster out of its holster beneath my coat and I point it at the guy in front of me and fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're using your maneuver to get your weapon ready, and
Yes.
you're firing at one of the other guys in front of you. Okay. So give me a ranged light
against.
against 2 purple.
Ooh,
I-
that's a very good shot.
So
Oh my
5
God.
success and advantage, and you said added to the damage for the weapon.
Yes, to the weapon's damage.
So I've got damage 9 and crit 3 for the weapon. So I think 9, 14.
14. Holy crap.
Vaporizing dudes.
Hey, you can use that advantage to inflict a critical injury.
I
don't
have
think
to?
it'll be necessary.
Depends on the weapon. One may not be enough.
Actually, she does have a crit 1 weapon, doesn't she?
Oh, never mind.
Well, it just
No, she has a
says-
crit 3 weapon.
Well, it just says inflict a critical injury with successful attack that deals damage past the. The cost may vary. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have to have enough advantage.
Speaking of which, did the advantages that we rolled in the initiative? Did we
Nope.
use those?
No, they're just useless. Sorry.
Oh,
One of the weird things about the system is that advantage on initiative doesn't do anything.
Then why do I have? What else do you roll vigilance for?
If someone's tailing you, if someone's about to
okay.
attack you, to ambush you, there are other vigilance doesn't come up outside of initiative, so
Okay.
it is a valuable skill. So you've done 14 damage. You just blew this guy's head off.
You also have a very nice blaster pistol. Congratulations.
Right? So yeah, you guys just started blasting, and it is effective. Holy crap! You guys are cutting these guys down. What do you want to do with your advantage?
Can I maybe dodge, go sideways and hide in the debris that you mentioned?
I don't think you can. Hold on a second. I mean, you can do that if you use a maneuver, but that's going to cost you strain.
Oh.
Let's see.
Nah, I'll save it for next turn. What can I do with the advantage?
So
That would be
with
useful.
1 advantage, you can recover 1 strain. You can pass on blue die to the next person.
I'll
you
do
can-
that.
Notice something important about the conflict.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So you notice as you're blasting this guy, you turn, you twist, and you look back. You notice there's 3 more guys behind you, and they're getting ready to take your friends down.
Everyone, watch out behind us. There are 3 more of them.
So now you guys are not unaware of the enemies approaching from behind.
That is the most
that's a positive.
polite warning ever.
So,
So-
how
You're
many-
not here.
And 3
Find the
more of
gap.
those fucking bastards behind us. Watch out, everyone.
So there's 2 in front and 3 behind.
I think
There's
it's
currently
one in front now.
There's one in front
one
and
in
everything
front
behind.
and three
Yeah.
behind.
Okay.
Because you guys are chopping them down. 2 more PC slots to go.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and go. I'll break out the bowcaster, turn around, and take a shot into the gentleman standing behind us.
So these guys are very
I
close to you.
sincerely doubt they're gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's
So
like you never listen to what I have to say.
Mac, you're rolling your, I believe it's ranged heavy with your bowcaster.
Oh, it better be
against
because.
1 purple.
All right. So, oh god. Yeah, it's not going to go poorly for them.
I mean, you do have a bowcaster, man. It's
Yeah.
It's going to go poorly for them.
So that is a total of 15 and 1 advantage.
All right.
15
So-
successes.
Yeah, you got
My
15
bowcaster
damage.
does 13 damage.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
No
it's a bowcaster.
wonder.
Yeah.
The bowcaster bolt hits the guy, and then the guy explodes like a millisecond later. He just explodes. It's
And I use
disgusting.
that advantage to
wow.
have the resulting pink rain sort of disorient or otherwise increase the difficulty of the 2 guys standing next to him.
Ink rain, baby. So are you passing it on as a bonus die?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Set, you've just watched your companions blast some people. I mean, they really blasted them. They're very blasted. What are you gonna do?
Like
I'm
I
gonna-
said, we
I'm
outnumber
gonna-
them.
I'm gonna rush in using that pink mist to cover my thing as I go to put a vibroblade through somebody's chest.
Okay.
As I lope upon all 4s somehow, because it's natural.
Vibroblade in your teeth.
Yeah,
Huh?
Anti-piracy space dog.
You joke, but all right. Let's see. So that is going to be melee difficulty 1.
So your difficulty on a melee attack is almost always going to be 2 purple,
But you get that bonus dice.
but you do get a bonus die.
Hey.
Nice. There we go.
All right. So you take that success and add it to the base damage of your weapon. I think you're using your vibro knife.
Yep. So 6.
So 6 damage. And I think, is that a 2 crit weapon?
It is a 2 crit weapon.
So you can crit if you would like to.
It's also Pierce 2 and Vicious 1.
Oh my god. All right.
Those all sound really bad for whoever you just stabbed.
Yeah. So
Versus his heart.
so let me break this down for the audience at home. He's done 6 damage. These guys have 3 soak, but he has Pierce 2. So he's eliminating 2 of those soak. So they only have 1 soak effectively against him. He's done 5 damage, which is not enough to kill one of these guys. Spoiler alert for everybody at home. But he has rolled well enough to activate a crit. He has Vicious 1, which means that he actually adds 10 to his crit rolls, which means he has a chance of actually killing this guy outright if he rolls high enough. So what I need you to roll, there is a button under special rolls that says critical,
Yep.
and there's a modifier field. If you put 10 in there and
Okay.
then hit critical, it should roll correctly.
Critical.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
So Set has stepped in, and his knife is very intimidating. And then as he slashes up against this guy, he is 100% dazed. This guy is
65.
not looking like he's ready to fight anymore. He's looking pretty out of it.
I'm going to
Did he
eat.
do 65 points of damage?
No.
No, no, no.
Oh no!
I'm going.
It rolled on a table.
I'm going to use those
Okay.
2 advantages to take a free maneuver to move into the next guy's face.
Well, you use those to crit.
Oh, I did.
Yes. You don't have to crit if you don't want to, but you have to spend to crit.
I would
Okay.
recommend you crit.
No, that's
Critting
fine.
is usually good because fun things happen like
We'll
this.
shoot the next guy. Don't worry about it.
Okay. or I can just take the strain and go get in his face.
Basically, you guys have eliminated half of the threat already.
Hmm.
And really, you've eliminated 2/3 of the threat because the disoriented enemy is not going to be very dangerous to you.
Like I said, we outnumbered them.
Right.
I thought we killed 2 and disoriented 1.
Yeah. So there's 2 guys that are still
No, we
holding.
killed
Kill
Three.
3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot.
Each of the
about
blasters
Everybody who
killed
was
one.
blasting blasted really well, and the guy with the knife actually did pretty well too.
Uh-huh.
So,
Cheers.
even though these guys have just seen you tear their allies to shreds, they're hungry. They look hungry, and they do want this fight.
Hungry
balls on these
for
guys.
what?
Yeah,
They look as
The fight?
do they look as hungry as I do?
I mean, you just had a steak, so probably
I mean, they're not like
more
cannibals,
hungry.
are they?
No, they're not cannibals.
They're
Okay.
itching for a fight, is what.
They're
Yeah.
just poor. They
Okay.
need-
Okay. Just checking.
So, even though Rico really got out there blasting early, he did allow me to go ahead and upgrade one of their checks. So I'm going to use that one to shoot at Rico, because that seems fair. One of the guys, the solitary man up front, is going to shoot back at Rico.
Okay.
And he has missed,
Woohoo!
but he misses in such a way that it's going to cause problems for you guys.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good symbol for us. Is that
That's
not?
good for him.
It's good for him.
Oh, okay, I see.
So
you
his
you could roll it in reverse, so that it's not as confusing.
Nice to-
it's actually not how it's supposed to be done. And I'll explain why after this. So he hits the pile of debris that's right next to Rico, and it throws debris up in the air. There's all kinds of like old, bantha burger patty, wrappings and other miscellaneous garbage flying through the air. So you're all now taking one setback when you're shooting.
Okay.
Is that one of the black die?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
black die. The other two guys are going to try and shoot. Well, one of them's going to try and shoot at Set. Since,
I thought one of them already shot.
yeah, one of them did.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
3 guys still alive.
There's 3
But
guys still alive.
There's that one guy who's disoriented.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
so he has a
disoriented.
+2 difficulty curve.
Technically, there's
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
There's 3 in front,
No,
3 in back.
there's
we
3
killed 2 in
alive.
front.
Yep.
There
Okay.
are 4
Okay.
alive.
Okay.
So this first guy's going to shoot at Set because he's the closest threat.
Yep.
And he is doing 8 damage. I think that actually just meets your soak.
No. I mean, what? So was he normally reduced as 2 dice?
Oh, right. Sorry. So he is doing 7 damage to you.
Which that's my soak.
Okay. So you see Set get blasted basically at point blank range by this guy and just shrug it off. Nothing happened.
He's just like armor.
No effect.
Just so takes it.
Yeah, his armor just...
Combination of armor and maneuvers that you, I guess, just point to him being a lupine type creature.
Sure. Sure.
All right. So the other guy who is disoriented, this is going to be interesting. So his check is upgraded twice, which means that instead of being 1 purple to shoot back at Lorian, it's 1 red and 1 purple. So let's see how this goes.
Wow.
He is hit.
Somehow.
Curses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is hit, and he's going to do 7 damage.
So this
So-
is the one that I've got my
So-
blade.
I have 3
Buried
soak,
into-
so that means I
Yeah.
take 4 strain or 4 wound.
So you said 3 soak?
Yeah.
Yes. So you take 4 wound.
Okay.
So there's no extra difficulty for me literally being in this guy's face.
Yeah, there was. His check was upgraded twice.
But I mean, then he was also disoriented, which was 2 more purple.
Well, right. So your 2 more purple becomes 1 red and 1 purple because the base roll is 1 purple.
Okay.
So when it's upgraded twice, it becomes a red.
Math.
Math.
Who needs
It's just
it?
colors, not math.
There's
It's
already
not good
Um,
for
not
anything.
even numbers anymore.
So yeah,
these
he's
moon
he's not in a good
Trait.
place. But shooting out of a melee is not as hard as shooting into a melee.
Oh.
All right, and that is all of your remaining enemies, which means it's top of the order for PCs.
All right. Then I'm gonna shoot the guy that just shot at me.
If Rico's going to retaliate, that's fine.
Yeah. He didn't hit me. He just made it rain garbage on us.
So just remember, all your shots now have one setback.
Yeah.
And setback are the black dice, yes?
Black dice, yes.
Worth it. Still worth it.
Well, you didn't get blasted, so.
This still a can I use a maneuver to aim?
Yes, you can.
All right, so what does that do?
That grants you a blue dice.
Grants me a blue dice.
So 1 blue die for every aim maneuver you do.
So
You can aim twice.
I'm good.
Okay.
Don't want to stress myself too early.
All right.
You know, I like the garbage flies into his face, and he just looks so pissed off. He's like, "Ugh." And 2 successes and an advantage.
You gotta roll.
Purple.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
roll.
I forgot the purple.
Yep, 2 purple. So 2 successes.
2 successes.
So calculate your damage, which will
10.
probably be
10.
10. Yeah, he goes down like a sack of potatoes or
Space potatoes.
space potatoes.
So
Yeah.
Toriko literally just has a magnum.
All of us apparently are packing like shotguns. Like,
Yeah. He's Dirty Harry.
You son of a bitch.
Just goes right down, right down.
I'm stealing
Clearly,
my voice.
clearly, you guys are a wrecking crew. Who's going next? It can be anyone. It can be Set. It can be Crunch.
Yep,
Be
Set,
Lorian.
you're already engaged.
Yeah,
Have a
I will yank my knife out of one and then stab the other one. One that-
Okay.
He's gonna spread the stab wounds around, you know.
2 purple is your opposition, and because you're not shooting, you don't take that setback.
Nope. No setback.
Hey!
Hey, that's a lot of damage.
That's
That'll be
stab wounds for everyone.
Or
Okay.
8 stabs.
8 stabs. All right, that is not enough to take him down, but he is clearly not enjoying being stabbed by Set's knife.
Clearly.
Okay.
But it was service with a smile.
I'll go next. I'll
Yes.
shoot
Okay.
one of the guys behind us.
So they are both currently engaged with Set, which means
Oh.
that your difficulty is upgraded once.
Is there anyone who's not engaged with Set that I can shoot at who's still alive?
No, Rico took care of that last one.
Okay. So the difficulty increases by 1. Does that mean 3 purple instead of 2? Or what does that mean?
No, it means that, well, actually, you're close enough that it's only 1 purple is the difficulty, but in this case, it's 1 red. Plus your setback dice.
So 1
So
red,
red
1
and
purple,
black.
and 1 black.
No, 1 red, 1 black.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
Damage 12.
Bye.
So Set, over your shoulder, a blaster bolt appears and a man's head disappears.
I'm used to this.
That's why he's got all the armor. He didn't.
Yeah. So that just leaves Crunch. What's Crunch going to do?
Well, already has the bowcaster out, so he's going to take aim and shoot the last one that's standing next to Set.
Shoulder.
All right, so you're taking an aim maneuver, so you got 1 blue die.
1 blue die, 1 black die, 1 red die, right?
Yes.
And then my normal stuff.
Can I
And
give
your
him my
normal-
advantage?
Yeah, yes, you can.
I give you my advantage.
A second
you-
blue?
Yes, second blue die.
Nice. Hey.
That's, I believe, 15 damage.
That's 15 damage and 2 advantages, yes.
Yeah.
Knocked his
Yeah,
socks.
That's correct.
Right.
The guy that you have just stabbed, all of a sudden, his lower torso disappears.
You're holding him up with the vibroblade handle.
Ugh.
You're just holding up pieces of his body.
You've seen Crunch's bowcaster in action before. You know what's going on. It's still disturbing up close, though.
Come back. I'm just like got blood everywhere in my fur.
Just from the waist down,
Probably.
though. Just
I wonder how long it'll take the boss to realize they're not going to report back.
So you're out of initiative order now, because you've cleaned up this combat.
I know you don't have to, but I'm still just gonna do the on the blaster pistol and just
They can still produce heat.
yeah.
Rin, while they're tied up with their blaster battle shenanigans, you're
mean,
sitting tight on the ship.
I'm eating a delicious Galaxy bar. These
Yeah.
are great.
You hear the bay alarm go off, and it goes off for about 2 seconds, and then it shuts off again.
Uh-oh.
I draw my pistol. I do a quick scan on the ship. Anything going on the ship?
Your ship is still locked down.
The bay what lit up and then went down?
The bay alarm. So that's the alarm on the entrance to the hangar bay that you're in.
Uh-huh. I'm pulling up external cameras on the ship, and I'm getting the jammers warmed up a little bit. In case I need to.
Warm up the jammers.
So as you pull up the external cameras...
That kind of RF will smoke a dude to the point where they'll never make babies again, trust me. And any popcorn they've got will pop immediately. And we won't even go into what happens if they have metal in their hands or in their pockets.
So you guys have a slightly upgraded suite. You have some IR and some UV range reception on your cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and give me a computers roll against 1 red and 2 purple.
Computer. Tell me what happened.
Ooh.
So as you watch those monitors, you're not really seeing what you would expect to see after an alarm went off in the bay. And it makes you really curious. You do notice something, though. With that one advantage, you do notice that the door on the bay is slightly ajar.
The door's ajar.
Where's the door?
Hey, anyone
Climb
else
into
in
the
here?
jar.
Was there anybody else in there besides my team that already left?
The only things that are in the bay are pit droids.
How much do they cost?
And those... What's that?
How much do they cost?
Pit droids? They're like 300 credits. But they're part of the actual service, what you pay for when you dock at the
What
bay.
happens if I ruin those?
You get to pay for them.
Why would you want to ruin them?
Well, it's easier to just smoke everything in the bay than it is to actually leave the ship. So, hey, I'm paranoid. I'm here to stay alive. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna play it cool. Playing it cool right now.
So you've got your ship locked down, which means that they can't just walk onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a pro. There's plenty of ways to get onto a ship that don't even involve slicing. I mean, you can just go hard and fast and
cut through it, blow the hatches.
Blow the hatches. Yep.
Jeez, I hate this. I'm flipping the jammers on.
Okay.
Computer.
You turn the jammers on, and all you get is static. You can't hear anything, and the UV and IR ranges on your cameras are a little bit sketchy right now.
That's fine, but there's so much microwave energy being blasted right now that hopefully
Slicer's getting sliced.
nothing's happening at that point. And then I just shut it back off.
Okay. So you just bake the entire bay in EM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Briefly,
Yeah.
I'm sending a message.
Those pit droids, by the way, all fell over when you turned on the jammer.
I don't know what did it. Probably the bad guys who came in the bay.
There was an alarm.
All right.
Apparently, the
So
base
back-
should have been.
Back to Set and Rico and Lorian and Crunch. You guys have just put down, I mean, you really just put these guys down, a whole bunch of thugs who clearly knew who you were and what cargo you had. Isn't that weird?
It's pretty weird.
Very weird. Can't imagine how that might work.
I'm gonna hit him on the comm link. Hey guys, I just got pinged by something that attempted to enter. I don't know if it's actually in here or not, but it's attempting to enter the bay. I just kind of fried everything with raw EM. I'm gonna pretend I don't know what actually fried all the little droids in here, but strangely, I had a cargo bay alarm go off too. I thought, is that what I heard? Or no, it was the bay we were in alarm. Yeah. The landing bay, not the cargo bay.
Yep.
Okay, so not a cargo bay alarm. So just
we
a heads up.
We just got mugged in an alley by 6 thugs. It didn't work for
You
them.
got mugged?
Well, they tried to.
They tried.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Hey,
only,
Is there anyone?
have you guys tried these new Galaxy bars? They're amazing.
we have a sponsor.
I'm not sure that candy is really the most important thing right now. Are you sure you are alone in the ship, Rin?
I'm as alone as I can be. I'm not like Tarika, who may go get space hepatitis A anytime. So I'm okay right now.
I think Zeltrons are immune, actually.
Space.
Drink.
Shall we
So-
continue on to the place where Firejack was it? Is trying to
Flapjack.
hack our ship? I don't think that was it somehow.
Flapjack.
So you guys
Right,
should
Flapjack.
probably hurry up and get to the wet dog before anyone else figures out that's where you're headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can try and get to your location. You can stop and search the bodies.
Yeah, I want to flip one of them over and see if he's got anything on him. Like, are
Okay.
these literally just like? I mean, they knew what we had and who we were. They're not just thugs. I want to see if there's anything identified.
Yeah, good point. Let's search the bodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna help them
So
look for like comms equipment.
you guys can roll perception or skullduggery here.
Ooh, that's
Well,
skullduggery. Skullduggery
6 of
for
one and half
days.
dozen of
Well-
the other.
Yeah.
Against what?
You're rolling against 2 purple.
All right.
Oh, okay. I failed with advantage.
3 successes. 3
And
threats.
all of the doom.
All
threats.
threats.
4 threats. Woof.
Perception.
All right. So Lorian and Set, you turn over some bodies, but you pick bodies that Crunch basically disintegrated. There's not much left.
Big soup.
Look at your ladle.
Does anyone have somebody hand sanitizer? This is not a very nice place.
Crunch, on the inside pocket of the jacket of the guy that you checked, you pull out 2 things: a data card that has a name on it, and that name is Chet Brown, and you pull out a. These are weird. You only see these in like scummy ports, but like actual matches that are used to light death sticks.
Like kitchen matches?
Like kitchen matches. It's very weird to see this, but they're labeled, and the label on the back of it says the wet dog.
All right. I'm gonna wave at Tariko.
Yeah, just a second, Crunch. Just
show him
right there.
the card.
Tariko, you also decided to search soup, but you're doing a lot better. You pull out several things.
They're solid
Um,
bits.
So you pull out a really nice blaster, like the kind of blaster that a street thug wouldn't actually own.
Is it as nice as my own blaster?
About as nice as yours, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that. That's going on the belt for now.
The other thing that you notice is that this guy also has it's basically a piece of flimsy pest. It's a business card with Chet Brown's name on it, but he has another one, and the name on that one makes you wonder, because the name on that one is the name of Lito's major domo.
Domo arigato.
Dum dum
The
dum.
one
Yeah.
we spoke to back
The
on
one you spoke to back on Tanab.
on Tanab.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is Thurston Howell.
Thurston.
He's very proper, That's
The third?
Thurston Howell, Where are the unborn pairs?
Not the third.
Not the third. Was he the first?
This is the first Thurston Howell.
This-
The second,
He
perhaps.
goes all the way back.
He refuses to go on 3-hour tours on boats now. I don't know why.
Long history of 3-hour cruises. Yes.
So go ahead and take 2 strain,
Okay.
because digging through soup is not easy work.
That generates a lot of threat.
Do I do that as well?
I mean, he's effectively straining soup.
So the reason
okay.
he's taking strain is because he generated threat on his roll.
A
Mm.
lot of threat.
A lot of threat. So that soupy mess, not fun to go through, but he did find a couple of things that are valuable information.
So, was this attack perpetrated by Set, or was it some sort of frame up on the part of the Hutt's major domo?
Well, we got their name and Chet Brown. We got what do you got there, Crunch? Chet Brown again. Matches? Who the hell uses matches? Does he look like a death stick head, like he's been smoking?
Yeah, he probably has death sticks. You don't want to go looking for him right now.
No, I don't. I don't want that shit anyway. That'll kill you right there. Like,
Mr.
it's in the name. How do you start a habit like this?
Scum and villainy, my friend.
I just
It's,
don't trust. I just don't trust people named Chet.
If you
Even
want
Scum
to,
has to have standards. That's all I'm saying.
it's the cool factor, man.
No, it's not.
You look like Space James Dean. It's cool.
Red teeth and like deteriorating earlobes isn't cool. All right, it's
Go home and rethink your life.
well,
Let's hurry up and get over to the pub. Trying.
Stay in.
The sooner we get this cargo and get off world, the better, I think.
Mr. GM, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Our cargo, the kind of stuff we're hauling. I mean, like everybody makes money hauling stuff. This is a 90,000 credit trip total.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the kind of cargo that would warrant this much attention from low life scum and villainy?
So, this is the kind of thing that I think all of you would know. Bacta is highly restricted and very valuable.
Okay.
Trade on Bacta is, I mean, this is a pretty high margin cargo. You're using less than a fifth or 2/5 of the space on your vessel, and you're making about as much as you would filling it normally.
Okay.
because this is medical stuff.
It's medical grade Bacta.
Medical
Right.
grade,
It's like
yeah,
Bactine.
but better.
Are we sponsored by them too? Like, what's?
Maybe not anymore.
Not after the space hepatitis A comment.
Bacta will clear that up. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would all know that Bacta is normally restricted cargo.
It's like
There would normally be a lot of paperwork involved in moving it, and
a lot of
with
imperial
Lido,
control.
there's not a whole lot. Yeah, formerly it was controlled by both the Republic and the Confederate independent systems.
Mm.
But now the Empire is trying to lock it down again. So
What all kind of sensors does this ship that I'm sitting on have that can like scan the area? I mean, can I do like bioscans or some other kind of cool thing like that? Or
it's normally designed to actually run probably LiDAR because it's designed for use in space, not necessarily on the ground. You do have external cameras because all ships need those.
Well, you'd think
especially
there'd
when you're
be.
trying to land.
So you'd use LiDAR even in atmosphere?
I mean, it's a ship, man. It's a spaceship. It's designed to be in space.
Math. Got it. Hard.
Mhm.
I'm going
You
to do a
do
quick
math.
LiDAR scan of the cargo hold now and
Okay.
see what pops up. I'm probably going to blind
Big
some
Floyd light
people.
show.
I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. The drones aren't going to have their optics fried now anyway.
Droids are already down.
Yeah.
As they're rebooting, they get hit with the LiDAR.
Probably this is Star Wars and it's supposed to be funny.
Man. So, what do I roll? Computers versus?
Yes, you're rolling computers versus 1 red, 2 purple.
Man, that's a lot of purple.
I mean, you do have a destiny pool you can mess with.
I know.
Apparently, you don't need
right.
to.
I don't know what that means, but that sure
There's-
does look pretty.
That's good.
So-
That's a triumph.
That's good.
Rin, as you run active LiDAR through the entire bay, which normally not recommended, but you're doing it, so. You actually notice that there are 6 people in the bay right now, who should not be there because they're not pitch droids. But you also notice that there's 6 blind people in the bay right now because your LiDAR blinded them. 100%. That's what your triumph is telling me. So you have 6 blind people in the bay right now.
Is there a loudspeaker?
On the ship, yes.
Okay. And it broadcasts outside the ship?
Yep.
Okay.
Only into the cockpit. It's a useless loudspeaker.
Hang on. Okay, boys. If you want to play warmer, colder, I'll help you get to the exit. No, you're going. No. That's moving. You're going to fall down that bay with those droids, and they are not happy. That's right. Turn around. Wow, it's like Keystone Cops watching them trip all over each other. Hey, yeah, Look, don't make me do it again. Next time I'll turn it on. That was a 4. You don't want to see 10. Are they moving towards the door?
They look like they're grouping up, getting in physical contact with each other. You can't tell if they're going to move towards the door or not. They just seem to be trying to get their orientation.
Where is the gun turret on this ship?
So unfortunately, your gun turret is
It's
on
on
the
the roof?
top. It's on the
Oh.
top.
I'll wait. Yeah.
So close.
But are they
flip the ship
at
over.
the back of the ship? There's a missile. No, that's probably a bit much for a bag.
For indoors.
Yeah.
Do not use concussion missiles indoors. No.
Okay, so wait, are they back at the ship where the engines and stuff are though?
I see where you're going with this. Yes, but I will tell you that if you get the engines going hot enough to actually inflict damage on them, the ship's going to start moving.
Well, I mean,
Is that a
I don't
problem?
believe that to be true. I've seen jets not move and still suck a lot of luggage and push up asphalt. So
to be
let's-
completely clear here, there's two kinds of, well, actually three kinds of drives on a spaceship. You have your repulsor drive, which gets you off the ground, gets you about 30 to 100 meters depending on the ship.
Mhm.
And then you have your sublight drives, which is what you're talking about cranking up.
Oh,
Sublight drives just make you go. It's like an ion torch. You're
okay.
just
They
going.
make you go. So yeah. What's a repulsor drive do? The things I can do wrong right now.
I mean, it's a gravity resistance drive. It allows the vehicle to ignore gravity to a certain extent.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna just. Are they following my commands to move toward the exit as I'm directing them?
They're still grouped up, man. If you want them to leave, you're gonna have to make a coercion roll.
Guys, I'm gonna set this thing up, and you guys are gonna either leave or you're gonna determine how much it's gonna hurt before you do leave. Which is it gonna be? Because right now, one more setting up and it's permanent blindness. Which do you want?
So that's coercion. So you're rolling against 2 purple. These guys aren't that mentally tough, but they're
What's
no
my
pushover.
coercion? Oh, it's only 2 green. Bummer.
Yeah.
What do I gotta do to move that?
But because they're blind right now, you do get a bonus.
Is that a blue die?
That's
Yep.
I'll take it. I don't know that worked.
Oh.
You failed.
Oh.
No. They're not buying it. They're still huddled up. They're talking to each other. Low enough that you can't really pick it up right now. But
Why is it a
still-
problem if the spacecraft moves when he turns on the engine? I mean, is he going to run into a wall?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
like the
no.
Mos Eisley one where it's in a dish.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the bay doors ain't open, it's kind of bad.
For the ship.
None of the doors are open except for the one that's ajar that the guys came through.
I think he's talking above the ship.
Yes, those aren't open either.
Well, the ion drive would just make you go forward, though.
Right.
And there's not really a lot of space to go there.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. I'm happy with where we're at. We'll let the next part play out for everybody else real quick.
All right. So Crunch, Lorian, Rico, and Set have gathered their evidence and are on their way to the wet dog. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So
No
you make your
grump.
way down to the river and walk into the wet dog, which charmingly enough has a sign of a dog shaking off the rain.
How does
It's a
it smell?
cantina. You've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of these at this point in your career. They all look the same. People are just there to drink and get away from whatever's bothering them, or make deals, or listen to music. So
I should probably find some place to wash this off before we go in here.
I mean,
Shake
it's
it off.
raining all the time, dude. All the
Okay.
time.
You
Perfect.
are now the wet dog.
Yeah.
I thought Crunch was actually the
we
wet dog.
we are both fully furred.
Just
Individuals.
great, big, giant, wet, shaggy
This is not
carpets.
the kind of planet that a Wookiee or a Shistavenan wants to live on.
No, this is terrible.
Oh.
So does anyone in here basically look like Ren does when he's like slicing and stuff?
That's a good question. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Against.
Is that it's perception on vigilance for this?
Yeah, it's perception, but it's only against 1 purple.
Okay.
This guy,
This is all of us or just him?
everybody can make this roll.
Oh, wow. I failed.
Success with 2 advantage.
So
Oh, so succeeded.
everyone except Lorian notices there's this Rodian kid sitting at a corner booth. There's another guy sitting with him, an older human. But this kid is obvious. He wants you to know that he's a slicer.
He's fine.
Mm.
Everything about him screams, I'm a slicer. He's got headphones on. He's
Backwards ones, a
wearing
fedora.
heads-up glasses. Yeah, he's wearing a fedora, right? You know, and he's got a really, really nice and very expensive data pad sitting in front of him, and he's just going to town.
And there's an older human with him.
There's an older human sitting at the booth with him.
Yeah, I see him. I see him, Crunch. You want to go stand in front of that human so he can't get out of the seat?
Yeah, and Set, go ahead and take one strain for me. Set, you also noticed that this cantina has surprisingly good security. There are at least 3 guards armed with blaster rifles that you can see.
Rifles.
Probably don't want to get into a fight here.
I'll tap Captain Lorian on the shoulder. Captain, over there in the booth.
Thanks. I see them now. Yes.
If that's an older human, we might have our Chet Brown.
I
So
certainly hope so. The faster I get off this planet, the better.
Crunch will take the older guy. I'll take the kid, just in case they try to bolt.
All right.
Yeah, just
Reed
gonna go
going on.
stand imposingly in front of the booth.
Yeah, they're in a
towards the side
booth,
of the
right?
old
Not
dude.
just a table.
Rico and I will confront him then.
Okay.
So we all take our positions.
Yeah, just like, hey, Flapjack.
The Rhodian glances up and he goes, "That's not my name. Who the fuck are you?"
Nobody's talking to you. And I turn to the human and Mr. Brown.
The older human looks up at you. When they said to Zeltron, I thought they meant a woman.
You wish.
I expect that you are the Rough Patch crew.
Yeah, why'd you have to make this hard?
We would have come to you completely voluntarily. I'm not sure why you decided to send some goons over to escort us.
Well, you see, it's like this. When old Leto sends me these goods, he sends them on such a small margin, it's hard for me to make anything off them. If I steal them from you, I can make a much larger margin. Basically, your margin.
Oh, that's a
Are
shame.
you really sure that you want to try and make negative profits on this deal here? I mean, a small positive profit's surely much better.
Well, seems to me I'm going to make a profit either way. I just had an opportunity to get a larger one that I lost.
Well, no harm, no foul. Where's our money?
He glances over at the kid and he goes, "Where's the credit chit that I left with you?" And the kid looks at him and he pulls into his jacket pocket and he pulls something out and he puts it down on the table and he reaches in the other side. He pulls another one out and he puts it down on the table. And he repeats this process going through a whole bunch of pockets and slowly produces a pile of, and these are shiny, new Imperial credit chits. The pile adds up to 90,000.
Okay.
And
They're
And
real,
what?
right? We don't need to verify them or anything.
Yeah, of course they're real.
95.
Okay.
95.
95.
That wasn't what I was told.
Straight from the Hutt's mouth.
You're going to have to take that one up with Thurston, I think.
Oh, Thurston. Right.
You know,
I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder.
oh, careful.
Whose shoulder?
Not Toriko. Chet's the sitting person that's older and
Careful. He
now
likes
has a-
that joint. He likes it a lot.
He glances up at the Wookiee and he goes, "Look, I'd like to pay you more, but there just isn't more. This is it. It's all I got. If they promised you more, they got to pay it."
Can we do a check to see if he's telling the truth? Perception check or something?
Yep, you can try and run perception or skullduggery against him. It's going to be 2 red, 1 purple.
jeez.
Yeah, that's probably gonna fail. Oh yeah, that failed.
Failed as well. Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, no chance I'm gonna be able to do that, but
Well,
sure, why not?
It was Thurston that said we get 95.
And he looks up at you and he goes, I don't like not being taken at my word. It offends me.
I don't like getting shot at, so I suppose we're even.
I don't think so. And he looks over at one of the guards and he goes, "Hey, Brick, go get Mortar. Bring him over here. I'm just going to go ahead and reduce your fee. You're only going to get 85." And he pockets one of the chits.
No, I want to try and snag that from him.
Okay. So that would be coordination, I believe. Yeah, coordination.
Okay.
And you are going up against.
Terrible. Not terrible.
You are going up against. I gotta be fair to him. You're going up against 2 purple.
Like, I don't like being shot at and ambushed in dark alleys.
So Rico is fast. He's fast with the gun. He's fast with his hands. He reaches out. He snags that credit chit right out of Chet's hand, and he pulls the whole pile back and scoops it. So you've got your 90,000 chits, but it doesn't look good for the boys right now because you've got armed guards coming towards you. Go ahead and roll initiative. You guys get to roll cool.
Are there a bunch of random people in the cantina that we have to worry about not killing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There are random people that you have to worry about not killing.
Can they
I
like
have to
start
roll cool?
screaming and running away because they see that there's a firefight about to break out?
I'll let you roll vigilance here, Crunch. You can roll either cool or vigilance.
Definitely rolling cool.
100% vigilance.
Toriko's so cool.
Can I roll cool?
If you want to, yes, you can roll cool.
All the possible dice that I have to roll for this are the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine aren't, so
I
that's
have 3 different things that I could roll right now, and they're all the same.
Hey guys, I just blinded 6 dudes in the hangar that were trying to steal our stuff.
Holy shit. We gotta take care of this fast.
Okay.
They're blind and walking around like, well, 6 blind mice.
Yeah.
What's a mice?
One just tripped over another droid that was twitchy. It was kind of funny. But let me know if you need anything. I'm still here eating another Galaxy bar. These things are so good.
Galaxy Bar sponsoring our show tonight.
Well, we're about to get into a firefight, so if there's anything you can do to help us out there. Is there anything you can do to help us out there?
Where are you?
At the wet dog.
Oh.
Bastard tried to not pay us. Apparently he wanted to save some money.
You're doing that thing where you tell us a lot of stuff with too many words. I got it.
All right. So our order here is NPC, PC, 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 NPC, NPC, PC. Rin, you can go ahead and make some computers rolls against 1 red, 2 purple.
When I find out who
To
the
try
fuck is
and get
giving
into
them
the
1
wet
red,
dog.
when I find out who the fuck keeps giving them 1 red, I'm gonna.
You're running up against somebody else's skill pool, basically, is what's going on.
Yeah, that kid.
Yep.
Slapjack.
Hey!
Oh yeah,
You're through.
kick his ass.
So
I'm in.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
as
I'm
soon as Rico starts to pull back with the cred chits, the lighting in the cantina starts to strobe.
Strobe.
It's strobing. So everybody is
music comes
taking
on.
1 black die to shoot
I'm
or
not planning on
attack at
shooting.
melee. So
Even if I already have a hand on a guy.
yeah.
You gotta take it off to use
I
the
know that.
bowcaster.
Do I have access to the cameras yet? Can I see?
Yeah, you
inside?
have access to everything.
So I can see inside there.
You own the wet dog right now.
I
That's
own
why
the
it's
wet
strobing in there.
Under new management, party disco lights.
All right. So the old man pulls a holdout blaster right out of his jacket, and he's looking like he's uncomfortable as crap with Crunch on his arm.
He's about to be very uncomfortable.
But he's shooting at Rico.
Sure he is.
And Rico, he's dealing 6 damage.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a energy blaster, right?
Yep.
Okay, so my soak jumps to 4 because of my catch vest.
Okay. So you're only taking 2 wounds.
Okay. So I think I'm reading that right.
Yep.
My soak is normally 3, but the catch vest counts as 2 against energy weapons.
Yep. You are correct, sir.
All right. So I'm taking 2.
With that 3 threat, however, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the difficulty of the next check on his side. Or if you guys want to do something else, we can do that as well. Get a whole
Can a
list of
holdout
options.
pistol in his hand like overheat?
Yes, actually, with 3 threat it can. Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's out of ammo. His pistol is functionally useless.
Great. I want to
Okay.
rip his arm off.
It is a PC turn, which I assume means Crunch is arm ripping.
Yeah, I already have one hand on his shoulder, so the other one's just going to grab and just
All right.
tug.
So you're up against 2 purple and 2 black because you're trying to rip somebody's arm off, man.
That's cool. I'm rolling 2 green and 2 yellow, so.
Okay.
Oh my god!
That looks like a painful roll.
So,
Oh my gosh.
Mac, your brawn is 4, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's 6 damage. Yeah, you tore his arm off, man.
Oh my god!
So right here, right now,
Beat him with
Crunch
the
just-
bloody stump.
tears Chet's arm right off. I mean, right off. And he's holding it up, looking like he wants to smack him with his own arm.
I'm assuming that would require a second action to be able to do that.
That would require a second action, which you can't yet. Yeah.
Oh
Sorry.
my god!
I mean,
Yeah, so just
you still got an
Wookiee
arm.
howling in the, at him.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
We have another PC slot.
Can I threaten him now?
That is yes. You can make a coercion roll. He is he's pretty fucking hurt, man.
Yeah. And I'm gonna draw my. I want to point my pistol at him and say, "If you want to actually live through this, you'll call off your goons now."
Go ahead and make your coercion roll against 2 purple, and you get a 2 blue dice bonus.
All right.
He's having a bad day.
He's having a real bad day. It started with him sending goons after us, and it's just snowballing from there.
He could have just paid us. It would have worked.
3 successes with advantage.
Chet holds up his remaining good arm with his now completely useless blaster pistol, and says, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop fighting! Stop! 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 I need to stop." And the armed guards look at him, and they look at you, and they look at him, and they go, "Yeah, we got to get Mr. Brown out of here."
Give
So
his arm back, Crunch.
they're clearly no longer interested in fighting.
Yeah, I hit him in the chest with his arm, just sort of.
So Lorian says, "Here are the rules. You take your boss out of here and leave the building, and we promise not to kill you on the way out.
Yeah,
you don't follow us, we don't follow you. No harm, no foul."
I got it. We're on
Anymore.
our way to the med center anyway.
I make the registers.
Wise decision.
Does this place have cash registers on them?
I mean, yeah,
Like
it
credit
does.
registers? Credit registers?
Yep.
I make them just start ejecting credits like crazy. I just have them just everywhere, like it's with power moves.
So all the cash drawers are opening up and credits are flying out. It's just, it's a lot. It's several hundred.
No, I'm
credits.
just letting it blast out, let the customers see it, create quite
Yep.
the distraction.
We still need to unload these goods. Like we're not taking his money and leaving.
We can
Right.
just leave him. We
Actually,
leave him on docks as
we-
far as I'm concerned.
Why is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still.
He's still alive. He just is missing an arm.
He's
Okay.
gonna have a nice cybernetic prosthetic now,
We got our 90,000 credits, right?
or a shitty
Right,
cybernetic
right, guys. We got the
prosthetic.
90,000 credits.
We've
Were
got the
those-
money.
It makes me think: were those 6 guys supposed to unload the ship?
Not my problem.
Not the ones that broke into the bay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
true.
don't unload a ship
Probably
the right way
not.
by breaking in secretly.
We should probably get somebody from him to come and unload the ship.
Well,
We'll
I'm
just
sure
get-
he can.
we'll
I'm
just get
sure
the
he can put
droids
those
to do
guys to
it.
work.
We just
Yeah.
get the pit droids to do it.
Yeah,
Make sure that they're
Are the
functioning
droids
again.
still functioning?
as far as I know, they are, guys. Come on back, hurry up.
Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Those pit droids are definitely not working anymore.
Crunch and Rico and Seth and I, we head back to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're walking back through Chol. I mean, it's still raining because it's always raining in Chol. Which means it's perpetually dark. But fortunately, there aren't a lot of tall buildings. You make it back relatively quickly. But when you enter the bay, there's still 6 guys huddled up with blaster rifles
Are they still blind?
who are starting to look like they're getting their sight back, but they're not quite there.
Put your weapons down, or I will do it again.
Put your weapons down
Oh,
while
I
you
will-
still have the chance,
I will-
because we are more than happy to blast you.
As a matter of fact, get out your wallets. Do it.
So,
Just give
so
us
somebody
the
has to roll
blasters,
coercion
all
here.
your ammunition, your wallets. Well, right now you have mostly blind dudes who've just
Go
walked
ahead,
in.
Lorian.
Who's
Roll.
got the best coercion? I've got 2 diamonds. Or 2 green.
Yeah, so do I.
I'd
That's all I
like your
got.
data slates too, please.
Alright.
You-
What are we rolling coercion against?
You're rolling against 2 purple.
I have no 1 advantage, no success, or no failure either.
Okay. They're still not ready to give up. Like, they may be mostly blind, and completely incapable of really using their blasters effectively, but this is how they earn their credits. They're not going to give up a score.
So apparently they're stupid too.
So we
Okay.
have to shoot them.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we roll initiative? I mean, they're blind. Can we just, like, shoot them?
Can I want to yell at him one more time, just like, your boss has already been disarmed, and we've been paid. If you
Okay.
want to pick up the back after we unload it, you can take it. I don't fucking care.
So at that, one of the guys goes, "Hey, Red, can you confirm that?" And another guy taps on his comm link and says something into it that you can't really hear. Waits a couple seconds and then goes, "Yeah, that's confirmed, Big Rick." So the first guy, who's apparently named Big Rick,
The other guy's regular Rick.
no, he's Red.
Red. Oh.
Red.
Uh,
I take offense to that.
He's not red leader. That's the good news.
Well, if anyone
Yeah.
should take offense to it, it's me.
Big Rick, he turns
actually
towards your
Red.
voices and says, "Yeah, go ahead and unload that back to. We'll get out of the way and you can call the labor droids."
Yeah.
Mm,
Call the labor droids, whatever. Yeah.
I don't know that I want them watching us.
Yeah, they're actually already moving towards the ajar door.
Good.
The door ajar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Crunch, you want to keep an eye on him with that bowcaster of yours?
Go out there with an unslung bowcaster and just standing outside the door.
Making
I released
loud
the
Could
locks.
occasionally make
Wookiee
some
noises.
Wookiee noises. That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I released the locks on the ship and let the bay door, drop to let everybody in.
So the ship is unlocked. Your armed guests are no longer in the bay, but the pit droids are down. And as the armed guests and Crunch walk out, a very flustered-looking spaceport manager runs in, screaming about unauthorized use of EM spectrum. And she turns, she goes, "Who's in charge here? Who's in charge here?"
I'm pretty
Who's
sure
in
that's
charge
you,
here?
ma'am.
Point to
What?
Big Red.
Those guys who were just leaving, it was all their fault.
There was unauthorized EM emissions in this bay, and it took down my pit droids.
Now, you can
and
hardly blame us for being a crime victim.
I'm sorry, ma'am. They broke in and tried to rob our ship. I
They
believe
tried to damage it with their EM.
Who did? Who is
Those
that?
guys just left.
those,
Who is?
those, those gentlemen out there with the blaster rifles.
Is that you, Rick Michaels?
I heard Big Rick. Is that right? Does that sound familiar?
Is that? That's Rick Michaels. I'm gonna go talk to his mother.
Yes, I'm sure his mother's very disappointed in his life choices.
All right. Well,
He needs to make better life choices.
I need you guys to get out of this bay as fast as possible. How do I make that happen?
We just need to unload this back to man.
You gotta unload something.
Yes.
She pulls out her data pad, and she taps something onto it, and begins to move towards the door. As she's leaving, there's 4 loader droids coming in,
Hey.
and she heads outside. And Crunch, she walks right up to Big Rick. She grabs him by the ear, and she just starts screaming at him. Your mother taught you better than that, Ricky. Ricky, what do you think you're doing, blasting? You're messing up everything. Yeah, the
It's worse
spaceport
than getting
is so
your arm
important.
ripped off by a Wookiee.
So the loader
Excellent.
droids get in and get aboard and get out pretty quickly. I don't want to say really quickly because they're still loader droids. They're pretty slow. So about an hour and a half later, everything is off the ship. The spaceport manager has come back several times. She brought a tech at one point to take a look at the pit droids. And she finally looks over at you guys and says, "All right, shoo. I gotta get this bay back operating."
Yes, ma'am.
Pleasure doing business.
Get on the ship.
We get on
Yeah.
the ship.
All right. I need a piloting roll to take off.
Okay.
Please don't botch this. It'll hurt.
Well, before we take off, I do a sweep outside to make sure they
Do
didn't leave,
I roll against anything?
that they
Or roll
didn't
against?
leave us any presents.
Okay. Set, you're rolling against 2 purple. Lorian, you're rolling against 2 purple as well.
What do you want me to roll?
You're doing it as a mechanic, or are you doing it as a?
I'm looking for anything that doesn't look right out on my ship.
Okay, you can roll mechanics.
Rin, can you do a quick check as well of the computer systems?
Yeah. What am I doing? By the way,
Making sure
I
nobody's
gotta read on a
hacking us or
really-
spying us.
I got to read on a really top of the line data slate in that wet dog.
Okay.
I think I did a pretty good job.
I
So,
wish I could get it.
Yeah. Ren,
Set, as you're
was a
going over
kid.
the ship,
Fine.
you don't notice anything that looks out of place per se, but as you're moving around the bay, you do notice that when Rin lidar raid the entire place, one of the thugs dropped something, and it looks like
Ooh.
the bag may be full of slicing gear.
Oh, well, fried now. So
No, it's lidar. Oh wait, the
It's-
EM. Yeah.
It's in a ray shielded container because slicing gear.
Yeah, protected,
It's a present for you.
fancy.
Well,
Pick it up.
Y'all shouldn't have.
Couldn't leave this here on the ground like this.
Hey, Crunch.
Right, you
Hey,
can't just
Crunch.
leave it.
Hey,
Oh.
Crunch. I got you something. Hey, here's a Galaxy bar. You're gonna love it.
Not sponsored by
Just try
Galaxy
it.
Bar.
Just
Who
try
is
it.
Galaxy Bar? Is that an actual thing?
I'm sure it is now. Anyway, Lorian, you're behind the stick. You're in your element. You easily throw out. The repulsor lift takes you 35 meters off the ground, and then you hit the sublight drives, and you're gone. Right out into orbit. No problems. Scopes look clear because I know Ren's paying attention this time.
Shall we take a quick break?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're gonna wrap up, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the mechanics. Does that sound good?
Wait,
great.
I mean, okay.
Oh, and as we take off and Rin's looking at his mechanics, I'm going to look over. I'm going to take out that bag. I'm going to slide it next to him when he's looking in the other direction. Hey, Rin, what you got there?
What do you mean? Whoa, whoa! Is that a bag? What's it? What's in it? That thing looks like it'll hold a body, or at least half of one. What's in this bag?
Maybe it's a bulgy bag.
Well, I mean, what's in it? I'm not opening a bag. Last time you brought me a bag in here, it had like 3 space pythons in it, and I wasn't very happy about that. What's in this bag? Yeah, I mean, you've heard of a space python. They got one eye. They seek heat.
So, I mean,
Not
I
even on
was
spaceships.
walking around. I saw something. I was like, oh, Rin might like that.
I opened the bag.
Inside of the bag is very, very high-end slicing gear.
Where'd you get this?
Don't worry about that.
I have to worry about that
Why?
because I just want to make sure that you stole it right.
Have you known me to steal anything?
No, that's the problem. So where did this
Yeah.
come from?
There's a will, there's a way.
Well, thank you. I'm just teary-eyed, and I think you're full of crap, but I'm teary-eyed. Thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting.
So you all have one objective left, which is to get back to Tanab and collect your 5,000 credits from Thurston.
I thought we were collecting 10,000
Well,
credits.
we got 10,000 already, basically. We need to pay back
The
80,000
80,000 credit loan. Right?
80,000 good luck. There you go.
I gotcha. Okay.
Then we'll get, or pay back 75, I guess, if you want to call it that. To get
Yeah,
our,
I mean, at this
bounty.
point, you're owed money by a Hutt, which is a weird situation to be in.
It's a rare one. It only lasts for a short
Good
period of time.
situation, but strange. Yes.
one we shouldn't relish, really.
But
Yeah, it's probably a bad thing.
Don't
we have been
relish it
going
where
for
you
a
can
while now, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Welcome back. Holy crap. This has been a real roller coaster. Sorry it took us so long to get the break. We're going to try and get our team home now. So,
Woohoo.
you guys have transitioned into local space above Jabim. Rin has an eye on the scopes. They are empty. For once, it looks like pirates are not going to be a problem for you guys.
Man, this is a nice change of pace.
Lorian, if you want to go ahead and make your astrogation roll, see how well you do in hyperspace. You're going up against one purple here.
Okay.
Not bad at
But
all.
boy, if you botch that purple.
Why would you say
Oops.
that?
Because
These-
because it uses math.
These dice can really do weird things sometimes.
Holy shit! I failed with 4 advantage.
Like that.
Please,
All right.
What just happened?
You jinxed it.
Yeah. You did jinx it. So you guys
Totally
take
jinxed
off.
It's payment for those really superb blaster shots we fired earlier.
Yeah. You take off. You're in hyperspace, and all of a sudden you realize you've been in hyperspace longer than you expected.
Uh-oh.
And you hear the proximity warning, and the ship drops out of hyperspace. And Lorian, as you come to the console, you take a look around, and you realize you don't know where you are.
Oh dear.
You're off course. You're off your regular star map.
Okay.
Should,
What can I do to get back on?
You have either overshot or undershot the trade route. So you need to figure out where you are, which requires an astrogation roll.
Okay. Let's hope this one goes better than the last one.
Can't help.
Like,
Astrogation against.
Captain, everything all right? I heard the alarms.
This is against 3 purple.
Oh
hey
So,
guys.
what I'm going to recommend here is that you go ahead and turn one of those light side points over and
Okay.
upgrade your roll so that you have 2 yellow.
dear. How do
Really
I?
good call.
How do I turn off? Oh, okay. Just
Yep.
click them.
Yep, just click them.
Ha! Success.
So you have identified your location. You are about, well, you know what? Let's use the correct unit measurement. You're about 34 parsecs beyond where you thought you should be.
That's a long time.
That's a long time, right? Yeah, you overshot by quite a bit. The good news is you know where you are, so you know how to astrogate to your destination at Tanab.
Okay.
So you quickly make your calculations. You get back on course. You put yourself back in hyperspace, and you're back on the hyperlane in about 6 days. You lost about a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So a 2-week trip became a 3-week trip.
Yes.
Yikes.
Curses.
I'm all out of galaxy bars.
So
That's all we're eating the whole time. It's just
No, but it's the snack that you can eat all the time in space.
completely out of galaxy bars.
In
Oh.
space.
I'm sorry, guys. It's all my fault.
The extra in space was definitely your fault.
We know, but I can tell you, no bad guys found us.
That's
If they were
That's
following
why we
us,
did it. That's why they did it. Yes.
If
We
they
were
were-
drawing the bad guys off track.
right.
We
Yeah,
have-
you fooled everyone, including yourself.
We haven't been shot at. It's a relatively uneventful journey. You know?
I checked the engines to make sure that I didn't overtune them.
Your engines are fine, Seth. Don't worry about it. So, you're a week later than you would want to be normally, but you do arrive back in the Tanab system.
And we didn't get shot at, so that's a very important point.
Not only do you not get shot at, your late arrival means that the local pirates, the freebooters, are actually engaged with a larger vessel. You can actually
Just
see on
surprised.
scopes what's going on. It looks like they're overwhelming a larger transporter. One of those big modular freighters.
Who owns it?
You want to go ahead and roll computers against 2 purple to tell me?
Sure, I'd love to roll computers. Computer.
It is owned by the. You know what? Let's go with it's owned by the Black Sun Transportation Company.
Leave it alone. I'm not messing with Black Sun. Those guys are
Well,
mean.
I'll let you save it.
Let's just go down
you know,
and Thanks.
No, I
let's
think
get
I
on
think
into
I didn't
the-
see a thing. I'm leaving
the
the
hut.
AO.
I think it's best to leave this situation alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are but lowly freighter pilots in a vast dark universe, and dark
So-
You
seas
do not
me.
want to be noticed.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
You wisely take advantage of the distraction provided by the shipping rating going on in system and
Yes.
head planet side.
Which we totally did not see.
So, Lorian, I need a piloting
terrible
roll from
tragedy.
you against 2 purple to land without, blowing anything up this time.
Terrible tragedy was happening up there. Leto, are you concerned?
All right, plenty of success.
Lorian, you go ahead and just bring it in hot. You drop it right down. There's no repulsor lift until like 2 meters off the deck, just enough to stop the ship from blowing through the deck.
Stop
Okay.
on a dime.
For whatever reason, you were feeling feisty.
Just watching the fight up there, right?
Every
Yeah.
second counts, right?
Absolutely.
You know,
Wanted to get
as
through as quickly as possible before the distraction went away that we didn't see.
there's nobody in the bay. It's one of the larger bays with multiple freighters, but there's nobody else in the bay right now. So you basically have it to yourself.
Okay.
You know that it's safe enough. The security here is good enough that you can leave your ship just locked up and it'll be fine.
Well,
Let's go.
and we don't
talk
have
to-
valuable cargo on it anymore.
Oh.
The ship itself is valuable.
Right. The ship itself is valuable.
That's right.
Yes. So,
So if you're all gonna take off and head towards Leto's palace.
yes.
All right. So as a group, you make your way through. You make your way through the city, the edge of the city, really. Find your way to Leto's palace. The city is, still. It feels like, it is a ranch city. It's a ranch town. It's a very large ranch town. So you're walking between large herd animals and droid cowboys.
Droid cowboys.
And wealthy
Roger.
looking humans, because that's the only kind of human you seem to encounter on this planet is wealthy looking humans. Very few poor looking humans.
Okay. Are
But
there
they're boring.
poor-looking aliens?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of poor looking aliens, all kinds of aliens on Tanab looking for opportunity.
Okay.
So you make your way to the outskirts of town to Lita's palace, which is, it's a nice place. It's a converted farmhouse, but it's still, they call it a palace because all Hutts have palaces. It's a respect thing. You make your way in. The guards know you. They know who you are. You make your way in. And you find yourself in front of Leto, who's otherwise occupied at the moment. So Thurston steps up and he says, "Oh, welcome back.
Hey, would
I
you like
trust
to go
everything
do
went according to plan."
He says no, but the job got done.
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, he tried to decide to take a larger margin on the deal by not having to pay us. We convinced him of the error of his ways.
Oh, I see. Is Chet still breathing?
You
Yes.
think?
He
I would
was
like
be.
to say
he
that-
was breathing when we left the premises.
that the charm of Tariko and the backing of Crunch was disarming.
I feel like there's a joke there, but I'm not really interested.
Well, give Chet a call. He'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Your card.
He goes ahead and he reaches out and he takes back the card and he goes, "Oh, well, I see that the debt is settled here."
Would you care to explain exactly what you mean by that?
Oh, you took the job on consignment. You took a loan out for the value of the cargo.
Hmm.
That debt is settled now, though. Those 10,000 credits are yours, or was it 10,000? We agreed on 15,
I
right?
believe it was
We
15.
did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I think that's it, unless you have something else. What do you mean?
You know, Crunch just says, remember how good we were at this job.
I see. I mean, you do know I speak Shirok. I know that he's complaining about being underpaid. What do you mean, underpaid?
Oh, sure, I'll run with this. Why not?
I start backing up a little bit.
Mr. Brown stiffed you on 5,000 credits.
Did.
Huh. He waves over somebody, an older Twilight gentleman, whispers something to him, and the older man disappears. And comes back shortly, holding a tray on which is a single 5,000 Republic credit chip, which
Wait,
you guys know are still currently transferable to Imperial credits.
Is it commensurate?
It's about the same.
Okay.
Like Confederate dollars.
Is that like Confederate
1930s.
dollars? That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But the
Confederate
Confederates,
dollars before the Confederacy lost the war.
Confederacy
Whenever there's a war, the
issued its
losers-
own credits.
Yeah.
So this is a wonderful time. There's like 65 different kinds of credits that are being issued because some systems are issuing credits. The Republic credits are still in circulation. The Imperial credits are now in circulation. The Hutts have their own credits. So there's all kinds of credits available.
It's like a free money system.
Yeah.
Well,
Your worst case scenario is playing a surcharge to change it over, maybe 5% at the worst.
Could be worse.
or
We'll
we
live
could
with
just we could just go, buy a lot of galaxy bars. Kidding.
We might want
Kidding,
to check
kidding.
those for addiction.
Yeah.
It turns out the only
Yeah.
ingredient in here is cocaine.
Don't you know? Don't you know? These
More of
bars
those
keep-
galaxy.
Those galaxy bars keep pilots awake through long voyages.
Yeah,
And
you're
other
thinking of
things, too.
cocaine.
I'm not the one eating
Yeah.
the galaxy bars.
I love them.
Come off
They're
the
so
bars.
good.
It just says cocaine. I don't understand this. These look like chocolate bars.
They taste like chocolate
The
bars.
future or the past.
99% cocoa, 1% cocaine. Yeah, sure enough. Yeah, that's it.
So I'll reach out and take the one credit shit and I don't know, pocket. Do I have pockets?
I mean, you are indeed a classy Wookiee, so you probably have a belt pouch or something hanging
Yeah,
off
I
you.
put it in my belt pouch. Boop.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Hell. We
space.
appreciate the business.
Thurston nods to you and he says, when Leto has use for you again, I will let you know.
Please pass along our respects to His Excellency.
In the background, you can hear Leto laughing. He's talking to... I mean, you've never really seen a Mandalorian, but it looks like a Mandalorian.
The armor.
Yeah.
How do we know it looks like a Mandalorian?
Because everybody knows what a Mandalorian looks like. That's
Because
sort
they're
of known.
legendary.
Correct. They are legendary.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So shiny.
So you guys did the job. You got the credits. Well, most of the credits.
Let's go
Good
blow
enough.
it on some galaxy bars and Twi'leks.
The ship's in one piece. I mean, you did a lot better than I expected you to.
Can we
I'm gonna be
get
honest
some?
with you.
Hey, how do we get some upgrades on the ship?
We'll talk about upgrades in a bit. But right now, I want to see if chat has any questions for us about the mechanics. Because I know that without being able to see what's going on, it's hard to follow along at home. So,
Yeah. You can't exactly have this rolling website.
Well, there could be a way for us to display that, but we'll talk about that
Yeah, I can do
off
that.
stream.
Yeah,
They
I
could
can
do.
So none of the dice, in case you're not familiar with the system, are numeric at all. All the dice have a series of symbols on them, basically, that we have been counting totals for successes and failures. Would love to be able to show it to you, and then you'd experience the first hour we all experienced looking at the rule book.
It was closer to like 3 hours, but
I spent a couple hours before this game.
Hey guys, I still haven't read it. I just rolled dice what you told me to, and just did what I thought.
yeah, but you
worked,
can't
so.
read. That's everyone
Well,
knows that.
it has some amazing pictures.
So there's
How does he
7
hack
different.
if he can't read?
There's 7 different dice.
Enhance.
Just like there are in the regular polyhedral set, they just all have symbols on them instead of numbers. And some represent successes, some represent failures of varying degrees, and those successes and failures can kind of cancel each other out. kind of we look at what the net gain or loss is whenever we have a roll.
Yeah, so the base standard roll, it looks like, is to have two green dice that we roll every time. That's what we were talking about. It's like you're add an extra green or add an extra yellow or that. So Klein asked about about how do you decode the symbols.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Reed.
Yeah.
Can you do what you're doing for our images?
Yeah,
Right
I
there
can
in
do
that-
it. Yes,
Right
I can
there
do
in
it.
that space there, we could take that top line of the roller right where.
Well, I can do it right in the middle, just below the G. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So we're using a digital rolling site because the only one of us that has this set of dice is our beloved GM. So we were using this digital rolling website to simulate the dice rolls for us.
We originally planned to get together and do this in person, which my having a giant bag of these dice would have made relatively simple. As you can see, it's on theme too. So
They actually really can't see. Your background was blacking it out.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can see it's on theme. So
Yeah,
Nice.
got the space plague going on now, so we can't play our space game in space person.
right. So hopefully, at some chance, we'll have some point we'll have an opportunity to do this again in person, and they all get to play with the dice, which honestly is a lot of fun.
With enough lead time that we can actually read the rules properly, and therefore.
Oh no, we're good. I never need to crack this rule book again.
I don't think I need to read it. I think we've
I
done
think
a
you
stellar
should
job.
look to see if you have any special abilities that you might not have.
Learn by doing, right?
Yeah.
Special
what
abilities are
happened.
for chumps.
And if you get
Anytime
killed
I
in the
play a new
process,
system.
well, it's just a learning experience.
Space dice.
Exactly.
So one of the things I like about the system is that, as you saw, there were some failures. Like people fell on their face. They messed up. But the way the game is designed is that doesn't stop the action from happening. Everything keeps moving forward. So, when Lorian rolled a failure on astrogation, you don't stop and go, you can't go anywhere. You go, well, what happened? It was a one failure. Yeah. Or in this case, you have successes, but she rolled one failure. So you go, all right, well, they probably overshot a little bit, or they undershot a little bit. They still go into hyperspace. They still travel. They just lose some time.
Well,
in
there's
this
the
case, they
dice
lost
roll
about a
for
week.
you, so you guys can all see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks that's solid.
High performing. That's what we do here. High
And
performing.
the example one that you can see right now, Lorian rolled 4 successes and 1 threat. 4 successes means that Lorian succeeded quite a bit. If there is an opportunity for success above the level of you do it, those successes can mean something. That's most common in combat, where you have damage based on the number of successes you roll above the threshold. But if you're in a skill roll, for instance, several times Tarika rolled really well on charm or negotiation rolls. He actually generates a better result for you. From a storytelling perspective, that just means that whatever problems I was going to throw at him, whatever complications were going to come up, I got to figure out a way to move away from that, to push those either later or out of the way entirely, depending on how well he rolls.
Made some very good characters for us.
Yeah, so that's the other part of this game. Character building is actually pretty complex, and that's one of the reasons that I decided to build all the characters myself.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I could
That
barely
would've
build
been-
a D&D character. Like,
You're
If
lucky
we were
had time
playing-
to overview
yeah.
the rules.
If we were playing a campaign, we would probably have an entire session dedicated to just building characters because of the level of complexity involved. I don't want you to scare you, because this game is a lot of fun once you're in and playing. You really only need one person who understands the rules well, as was demonstrated, because I know exactly what to ask for rolls, and I know how to build the characters, so the game is functionally playable. And there are starter sets. I don't know how available they are right now because, with what's going on. But there are starter sets. They come with an adventure and pre-made characters that are designed for that adventure.
This was a lot of fun.
yeah, this is solid.
It's a nice
Thanks,
change
so-
of pace when I get to play too, because
Yeah.
all
yeah,
that
it's-
obnoxiousness can just spring forth, and I'm sorry.
Think-
I'm
I
so
think
sorry
that
right now.
You were in great form for
Somebody
the obnoxiousness.
confiscated galaxy bars. Hurry.
I think the example that's on there now shows a good one where you've got a lot of dice on your side and you can still fail.
Right, yeah. So these dice are, I mean, the probabilities on them are fairly good. They are friendly, but not too friendly. Once your dice pools get very large, you're looking at something like a 55 to 65% chance of success in most rolls.
That's
I
pretty good.
I think looking at Set's roll right now, the one that's displayed right now, he probably had a 55, 60% chance of succeeding. The math gets very wonky when you get the bonus dice and the setback dice involved because they are slightly more efficient, is I guess the best way to put it, than the larger dice.
This is what happens when I roll a computer.
Yeah.
Computer.
Yeah.
Well, what I do like, having thumbed through the book, and by thumbed through in book, I mean scrolled through the PDF, they do have a conversion chart to where if you were running it and everyone playing has a set of polyhedrals, you could be like, all right, a 5, a 6, and a 7 on a D8 get you this result. And so you'd roll the green dice or roll a D8 for the green die, and you're looking for these numbers that will come up with these specific results. So if you can't get your hands on enough sets for everybody to have them, and you don't feel like sharing, and for some reason you can't get on the internet to do this, it's perfectly valid to actually try and just print out or have a copy of the rulebook cheat guide next to you and play that way. It's a pretty interesting system to make that happen.
And while all of these Fantasy Flight game RPGs like Genesis, Legend of the Five Rings, and Star Wars all use basically the FFG dice in some way, though they are different. The Legend of the Five Rings has D12s and D6s versus the D8s?
There's D8s and D12s and some D6s in this one.
Hey, all I know is they got different things on every side of the dice, and I just...
So your proficiency in challenge dice are D12s, and I believe only one of their sides is blank.
I don't think any of that.
You tell us, man. You got the dice in front of you, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I think the D12s are not blank on any side.
You may be right about that.
Because it was the D6.
No, there's one blank. It's opposite of the Triumph or Despair.
Thinking of the Force dice. The Force dice has no blanks.
Yes, the Force dice has no blanks, and that's because the Force is always doing something, whether it's good or bad.
I mean, I'm with the Force, and the Force is with me, so...
So
link
yeah,
the website in the chat there if you want to check it out and play with some of the buttons.
yeah. Go ahead and muck about with that if you want to. We're done playing, so it's not important anymore.
Now, is this still a system I can go out and buy, or how's this working with Fantasy Flight's recent pickup?
So with the recent issues,
I have an answer.
Yeah, with go.
Yeah, so there was so Fantasy Flight dropped their RPG systems in January. Not 100%, but there was an announcement made at one of the events in, I want to say it was late February, and there was a sprint, there was a slideshow. There's been no official, is that Gamma? At Gamma, at Asmodee's keynote. They announced that Genesis, Star Wars, and Legend of the Five Rings role-playing systems were all going to be transitioning over 2020. Now, given certain issues, I'm sure that's gotten delayed, but are getting transitioned to I believe it's Spanish studio called Edge Entertainment.
Okay, but so the system itself is still going to be living. It's just moving ownership.
Correct.
Okay, that's good because I had a lot of fun with this. I think the rest of you guys did too, right?
The issue right now is that with the delays in shipping anything from China, there is almost no movement of goods related to this line. So
that's a bigger problem for everything.
Yeah, that's gaming in general is suffering from that right now. So
it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Rob, I want to ask you about expansions because from the characters you made us, when I was looking for the core rule book, I didn't see I don't actually think any of my options. Like my race wasn't in there, and my specialization wasn't in there.
Yeah, you are correct. Your race and your specialization are actually from the the Smuggler expansion book. I fly casual.
Yeah,
By casual.
Casual.
let's see.
Fly casually.
Mine's
That's,
from the Age of Rebellion.
We're not smuggling anything. We're completely legitimate transporters of completely legitimate goods.
Yeah, flying khakis and polo.
He, for my character, I had to pull up 3 different books to find all the different parts that he pulled in.
Wow, you guys put a lot more work into this than I did.
Wow,
So-
you guys can read.
For
I
the
was like,
audience
all right, Wookiee
that's
noise
not
is
in on
done.
this, yeah.
Yeah, I think Crunch and I are good friends. At
Um,
least when I have food.
Yeah. That's not galaxy bars. God.
There
They
are.
have meat in them.
I want to say there's 22 books right now.
There's a
22
lot.
books for the line, yeah.
Because Age of Rebellion has a fuck ton.
Yeah, because there's 3 main settings in there, right? There's Age of Rebellion, Clone Wars, and Edge of Empire, right?
You
Force
are
and
wrong, sir.
Force
No!
and Destiny.
Edge of Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are the 3 core rule sets.
Mhm. But they're all interchangeable, right?
They are all interchangeable, provided your GM is willing to hurt himself that way. Yes. The big issue comes down like when you're playing a campaign, you have duties, obligations, and morality issues. Morality comes up during play,
Yeah, I have that happen all the time.
where a force-sensitive character has to make a decision, and how they play through those decisions generates a result at the end of the session that determines whether they shift light or dark.
Oh, I just thought you meant me making a moral decision.
So that was only the force sensitive.
He's still doing the voice.
Worry about the
I can't stop.
the
So
morality.
has the mask on.
right. The rest of you guys are playing Edge of the Empire classes, and those get obligation. Obligation is debt or addiction or.
For Red, it's addiction. Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
You guys are
Fucking galaxy
terrible
bars,
human
man.
beings.
he's addicted to galaxy bars.
Hot kettle.
Right.
Does it actually say that on your sheet? Addicted to galaxy bars?
No, it doesn't say that anywhere. I made up galaxy bars from the moment I said it.
Well, yeah, because I saw the obligation part in the book, but it's all that was blank on our character sheets. I figured since we were just doing a one shot, you weren't going to.
You actually do have obligations.
Yeah, they're on there.
I just didn't write anything in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've
The
got one in
obligation
there.
works. The way obligation works is you take all the numbers for the obligation for all the characters, and then the DM does a roll. And if he rolls higher than the sum of the obligation, then obligation doesn't come into play for that session of the game. And if he rolls lower than the obligation, then somebody's obligation comes into play in the plot.
Right. So because this is a one shot, all of that happened sort of behind the scenes. There are 4 Edge of the Empire characters in this group, which means that they had a total of 80 obligation.
We probably would have had to deal with that. Yeah.
Which
High?
yes means that
Okay.
somebody's obligation was pinged for this adventure.
Oh,
Yes.
whose
Someone's
obligation?
Someone's obligation was pinged for this adventure.
I don't know who you're coughing for.
And it was actually Lorian's.
Oh,
'Cause
Yes.
you
yes.
still owe a debt on that ship, so you have to make money. So the Hutt called it in.
okay. Well,
But-
I mean, that was
Oh,
when
okay.
I made my character ship that I sheet that I owed money on the ship. So we're
Yep.
we're cool. We were on the same wavelength there.
We're here to do a job, make money. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
What
can't
she
just
does with
press
her
They're
forward.
ship doesn't
complaining about the
affect me.
money they made.
What are you
I'm
doing,
taking
Reed?
a picture of you guys because y'all are amazing.
So one of the things that I do,
Screenshot, man.
one of the things that I do when I'm when I'm running a campaign, is instead of rolling obligation at the beginning, I actually roll at the end of the previous session. That way, I have time to sit back and prepare.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes
Um,
sense.
Like that. That's a good idea.
I look at all these mechanics that are like roll something at the beginning of the session, and then I'm like, I am really good at playing by the seat of my pants, and I don't want to be doing that. Like, that's not something I want to do. If I have to bring this mechanic into play, like if I have to do something specific, I want to be able to plan for it.
Yeah, as much prep time as possible on a GM side is I've found is the key to me when I'm playing that stuff. Dude, print screen. What are
guys
you doing?
Amazing.
Yeah, why are you? Yeah, there's a button on your keyboard. For
No. This one's for something different. Yeah.
Your weird like white panel van thing? What's happening back there, man?
I'm just, capturing the moment.
Equivalent of a-
Hey, look,
Trading these
it's,
pictures for galaxy bars.
hey, look, it's a space Kodak moment. Don't you ruin this for me.
Kodak doesn't exist in a galaxy far, far away.
Well,
Excuse
that's why
me,
it's
let
called
me correct
Space
myself.
Kodak.
Kodak barely exists in this galaxy.
They're all from the planet Rochester. What are you doing?
There's actually only 75 obligation in play with this group, but it's still a lot.
Oh, you lied to us.
Look,
Sorry.
my data slate just took a photo so I
Is
could
that, like,
turn into
out
a
of
holo
100?
reel so I could remember you guys for this one-shot extraordinaire because, you know, it is what it is.
We are pretty awesome. We're
Or
worth
it's
remembering.
not a one shot, and
Perhaps this was the pilot. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I have plans. I have another one shot for Star Wars that I am almost ready to run. And I guess the rest of the team should forget that I'm about to say this, but I'm planning to run a Clone Wars session.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
So a lot of clones and maybe a Jedi Knight
You said-
involved.
What I just heard is 50,000 dudes who all answer the same name and look alike. I don't know that I like
They
that.
have numbers. Come on, man. Read your
Yeah,
canon.
they have numbers, man.
Yeah.
have you not been watching the
Is that math?
Rebels?
That's math again, right?
Haven't you watched the
Numbers.
Clone
What's with the
Wars on
voice?
Yeah.
How do you
cartoons?
hack without math?
I don't know. Listen, rocket scientist.
Password's
hacks
always
with-
swordfish.
He hacks
right?
with shapes.
Colors, shapes,
Shiny things?
galaxy bar wrappers. You don't. Well, they are metal foil. You can't use them as a conductor in a pinch.
We've lost the message here.
So yeah, we'll go back to our studio eventually, and we'll talk about Star Wars, maybe actually running a campaign. But yeah, we definitely have at least one more one shot. I don't know if it will be the same group. In fact, I'm kind of hoping, no offense, guys, that it is not the same group because I want to see how a different group plays through Star Wars.
Totally fair.
Totally fair.
I will go be
Besides,
insulted.
this ship crew is now a crew forever.
We're
They get
canon
eaten
now.
by a Wookiee. Like,
Yeah.
Well, until the Wookiee, we run out of food and the Wookiee's hungry. Yeah, that's true.
So
Thanks, Crunch. Never turning my back on you again.
oh,
thank you everybody for watching us, for
Baby
tuning in,
Crunch.
for being on this adventure with us. And thank you Corey, thank you Jeff for joining us tonight
Had a
on
great
short
time.
notice.
yeah, thanks, guys.
Love all you guys. Thanks,
Much
fans.
as we love having Prim Zatara on board, it was nice to shake it up for a change.
Yeah.
We had a great time. I know that.
Truly, truly.
Right, everyone came for the Wookiee ripping our arm off, and he
And they
delivered.
were not disappointed.
He delivered.
I
can't
was
have
kind of hoping to be able to like, get both at one point, but it's like, yeah, this works. I'll rip one off, and he's still got to be able to have a way to pay us.
We'll just
Yeah.
rip off one drumstick and save the other for later.
Yeah. If there was a second round of combat, I was gonna be beating him with it. It was gonna be great.
Oh my goodness. That sounds painful.
Shamefully, Rico broke in there and stopped that fight.
Shamefully.
I know, right? We could have taken him.
We could have, but I mean,
But we
I gotta
already
play to
had
my
the money.
strengths.
There was no profit in it.
Yeah, I gotta play to my strengths. And
Let's
my
get
strength
shot for no money. How does that make sense?
Just wasting ammunition at that point.
Exactly.
I don't use ammo.
I got away with
You're wasting
words.
blaster
That was my way to
power.
convince him.
We're overtime, guys. Let's
All right, all right.
guys. Have a good one.
have a good one, guys. Thanks for joining.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good night.
Stay safe.